Princeton Tiger football is on the air today from Bryant Field on the campus of Princeton High School. It's week 3 of the IHSA football playoffs as we are down to the Elite 8. Today, the undefeated Princeton Tigers with a record of 11-0 host the Elmhurst IC Catholic Knights, who have a record of 10 wins and 1 loss. It's a cold, windy Saturday afternoon in Princeton. Temperatures in the 30s as we eagerly await this quarterfinal matchup. We want to thank our sponsors of Tiger football on Tiger Central Live, and they've been with us not only today but all season long. And they include Becks, Central Bank, Princeton Redi-Crete, Michlig Energy, and Midland Bank. Also, a big thanks to the Princeton Public Schools Foundation. Also on this Veterans Day weekend, a big thanks to our veterans for their service. We want to extend a warm welcome to the fans of IC Catholic as well as Tiger fans all around Bureau County and beyond. I'm Norm Vandermoon, joined by Princeton High School basketball coach Jason Smith and PHS social studies teacher Brody Anderson. Steve Morton, Princeton's technology advisor, is our producer director. Steve Gray, an outstanding cameraman, is on hand, along with our student helpers, Austin Gordon and Cail Piper, as our crew is all set to capture these high school football headlines as they are being made. And joining me right now is Brody Anderson. And Brody, I know the list has gotten a little shorter as we've gotten down to the Elite 8, but if you could recap last week's scores and then let us know what's coming up in playoff action today.
Sure, Norm, sure. Well, hey, it's good to be here back at Princeton High School for our final home game this year. But let me tell you, it's a cold and blistery one outside. I was just looking at my phone. It's 35 is the actual temperature, but it feels like 27. Now, it's a warm-up from where we were earlier this week with the forecast. They originally said it was going to be 22, so it's balmy out there now, Norm.
Oh.
You know, I'm just happy that we have all these great Tiger fans out there, and I see fans tuning in from near and far from the comforts of their home or wherever you might be watching us. So let's go ahead and run down our Week 2 scores. These are last week's playoff scores. Starting with 1A ball. So Lena Winslow, 76 over Rova, 7. That was just a game that just Lena Winslow came right off the gate, and Rova could not get any footing whatsoever. We reported that here live last week on Tiger Central. Fulton, 28, Rockford Lutheran, 0. Forreston, 44, Chicago Hope, 16. Dakota, 30, Ottawa Marquette, 19. And then in 2A ball, Maroa Forsyth, 42, Farmington, 12. Rock Ridge, 27, Bloomington Central Catholic, 18. Knoxville, 48 over Bismarck with 29. As you saw last week here at Tiger Central Live on 3A ball, Princeton beat Genoa Kingston 26-2. Elmhurst IC Catholic, who we're playing today, defeated Stillman Valley 42-14. Reed Custer 24 over Pecatonica 6. Fairbury Prairie Central 41 over Roxana 20. Olympia 60, St. Joseph Ogden 28. Williamsville 18 in a good match against Eureka with 16 points on the board. And then in 4A scores from last week, Rochelle 34, Jonesburg 22. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin 28, Waterloo 16. Murfreesboro 20, Macomb 16. In 5A ball, Sycamore 43, Modeling 0. Sterling 60, Chicago Good 8. Momet Seymour 44 over Metamora with 28. Peoria High 48 over Kankakee 21. In 6A ball, we had East St. Louis 40 defeated Normal West in a blowout, 0. In 7A ball, Yorkville 34, Moline 31, and that went into overtime. Pekin 32, Normal Community 31. What a great game. And then lastly, an 8-man ball. Amboy came back against Milford and won 30-28. Biggsville defeated Milledgeville 38-14. Polo defeated Cambridge 38-32. Now, Norm, we have a bunch of games going on today, and some of these games are 1 o'clock and some of these games are 2 o'clock games, and we'll keep you posted as we go along. But in 8-man semifinals today, Champaign St. Thomas More is at Amboy, and that's a 2 o'clock game. I have several friends at that game, so hopefully we'll get some live scoring here. Biggsville is at Polo, and that's a 1 o'clock game this afternoon. Lena Winslow in 1A ball, who's 11-0, is playing Fulton, who's 9-2. That's a 1 o'clock game. Dakota, who's 7-4, is at Forston, who's also 7-4. That's a 2 o'clock game. In 2A ball, Maroa Forsyth, who's 11-0, is at Rockridge, who's 10-1. That's a 2 o'clock. Knoxville, who's 9-2, is at Downs Tri-Valley. It's a 1 o'clock game. Right here in 3A ball, we have IC Catholic, who's 10-1, is playing against right here Princeton, who's 11-0. Reed Custer, who's 11-0, is at Byron, who's 10-1. That's a 1 o'clock game. Toledo Unity, who's 10-1, is at Fairbury Prairie Central, who's 11-0. That's a 1 o'clock game. Williamsville, 10-1, is at Olympia, who's 7-4. That's a 2 o'clock game. In 4A ball, Wheaton St. Francis, who's 10-1, is at Rochelle, who's 9-2. That's a 2 o'clock. Murfreesboro, who's 9-2, is at Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, who's 11-0. That's a 2 o'clock. In 5A ball, the Sterling Warriors are playing Sycamore. Sterling's 9-2, and Sycamore is 11-0. That's a 1 o'clock game. Momet Seymour, who's 11-0, is at Morris, who's 9-2. That game's later on today. That's a 4 o'clock. Peoria High, who's 10-1, is playing Mascuda, who's a 9-3 team, and that they are down by St. Louis. In 6A ball, you have Crete-Money, who is a South Chicago suburb, that is, who's 9-2, is playing East St. Louis, who's also 9-2. That, Norm, whoppingly is 274 miles away from each other. That's a 4-hour and 18-minute one-way trip on Google Earth. Would you believe that? That's going to be a long drive home for one of these teams, or a quick drive one, depending on who wins.
Right.
And then in 7A, you have Yorkville, who's 10-1, is at Bavaria, who's 9-3. That's a 1 o'clock game. And then Lake Zurich, who's 10-1, is at Pekin, who's 11-0. That is a 12:30 game. Now, Norm, other than football, we have some exciting stuff coming up in the world of basketball. So we have the Tiger Girls Basketball Holiday Tournament, which is right here at Princeton High School. And that starts November 14th. It's right around the corner. Would you believe?
Monday night?
Yeah, would you believe we are almost to basketball season already? So in this tournament that's being held right here at PHS, there's a series of pools. So you have teams such as Princeton, Putnam County, Streeter, Bureau Valley, Stark County, and Henry. St. Bede, Erie, Prophetstown, and Midland are all going to be here for girls basketball action. If you want to come out and support the Tigers, the first match for our Tigers is at 8 o'clock when Princeton takes on Putnam County on Monday. Also, if you can't make that one, Tuesday, November 15th, Princeton will be taking on Streeter. Our first girls broadcast, Norm, is almost here, though. That's going to be Thursday, December 1st versus Hall, and that's going to be live on Tiger Central. Now, also, we have some boys basketball action coming up as well. We're going to have the Dean Riley Shooting the Rock Thanksgiving Day Tournament, which is almost right around the corner. Princeton is playing against teams such as Pontiac, Thornridge, Marengo, Ottawa, LP, Oak Forest, and Streeter. Now, these are all at Ottawa High School. So Monday, the 21st of this month, if you want to go out and support the Tigers, be in Ottawa at 8 o'clock when Princeton boys will be taking on Streeter. Also, they're playing 2 matches that following Friday. On the 25th, they'll be playing Oak Forest at 1 o'clock and LP at 7 o'clock. We play 2 games on that Friday. Now, for us Tiger Central fans, our first actual broadcast for boys varsity basketball will be Friday, December 2nd, when the IVC Ghosts will be up at Prouty taking on our Princeton Tigers.
Yeah, that's always a great matchup. Thank you, Brody. And if you're wondering, why didn't Brody give us more games? Well, it's a tournament, so it just depends on if you win or if you lose, who you play in subsequent games. But thanks for the recap. So the girls starting Monday, and then the boys Thanksgiving week, which is always a busy week. I know Schmitty will forgive us if we don't get over there Thanksgiving week. But, boy, when Chili comes to town on, what was that, December 2nd?
Yep, the 2nd.
By golly, be there. That's going to be a great game.
It's always good to play the old NCIC teams from back in the day.
Brody, super job on the recap as always. And feel free, not only the games you mentioned, but it's down to such a few teams that share any scores that you get today, okay?
Most definitely, Norm.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you. All right, so a great job by Brody. As you can see, both teams are out on the field. We are about 17 minutes from kickoff, but we're anticipating the band will take the field at about the 10-minute juncture. And Schmitty, here we are, Elmhurst IC Catholic against Princeton, the IC Catholic squad at 10-1, Princeton at 11-0. And yet I think even in Kevin Hieronymus's article in the News Trib today, Tigers would have to be considered an underdog.
Yeah, you got to agree with that. Just from strength of schedule standpoint, IC Catholic plays some bigger schools than what Princeton does, but don't underestimate the Tigers at all because they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger than they were a year ago, and they're playing at home as opposed to last year on the turf against IC. So I think we're in for a great game today, and I can't wait to get this thing going.
All right, let me give you a little background on Elmhurst IC Catholic. As we mentioned, they're 10-1, coached by Bill Kreft. Enrollment 323. To go down their schedule, they beat Lombard Montini 35-16. Their only loss to Joliet Catholic, and that was by 1 point, 23-22. They beat Elmwood Park 53-0, beat Norridge 55-7. Beat Aurora Catholic 75-6, beat Wheaton Academy 42-20, beat Riverside Brookfield 48-14, beat Kankakee McNamara 47-0, beat Wheaton St. Francis 25-14. And then in the playoffs, it has been complete domination as they beat Chicago King 63-0 in week 1, and last week beat a good Stillman Valley team 42-14. Elmhurst IC Catholic is 109 miles from Princeton. Some of the players to watch for IC Catholic: wide receiver KJ Parker has 32 catches, 990 yards, so about 30 yards a catch, 15 touchdowns. Their quarterback, Denzel Gibson, an amazing 104 completions and 150 attempts, 2,196 yards and 31 touchdowns. Isaiah Gonzalez was the Defensive Player of the Year in the Suburban Metro Conference, and also running back Denzel Gibson, 75 carries, 768 yards, so better than 10 yards a carry, and he has 13 touchdowns. And now for background on the Tigers, here's Schmitty.
Yeah, the Tigers are 11-0, coached by Coach Ryan Pearson, the all-time winningest coach in Tiger history. Enrollment is 546 students. Week 1, Rock Ridge 41-22, Orion 60-20, Hall 55-20, Mendota 70-21, Kewanee 56-7, Newman 37-0, St. Bede 56-7. Bureau Valley 48-0, and then they ended the week 9 with Monmouth Roseville 48-0. Week 1 beat Peatone 56-28, and a winner over Genoa Kingston last week 26-2. Your leading offensive players for the Tigers is Augie Christensen, who's got 1,013 yards with 18 touchdowns. Tegan Davis 756 yards with 17 touchdowns. And C.J. Hickey was 514 yards and 5 touchdowns. In the air, Tegan Davis has 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for 1,540 yards in the air. Noah Laporte being his leading receiver has 41 catches for 849 yards, and then 14 catches for 355 yards for Danny Sahaki. So the Tigers are going to be amped up, ready to go. I think, I think the Tigers have to have the field position, ball possession, have to have the time of the clock on their side. If they can win the time of possession, I think the Tigers have a great chance of winning. It's got to be 3 yards, 4 yards in a cloud of dust with these guys, and set them up with some play-action pass to beat these guys. But I think it is very doable. There's a pattern been out there how to beat these guys. Byron said it last year, and I believe in the semifinals. And I think Stillman showed you some of that last week too. The score is a little bit closer when it is indicated. IC Catholic scored late, a couple touchdowns late to blow it wide open, but I think the score was within a touchdown for the first 3 quarters. So they are beatable. The kids believe it. We believe in the kids, and here we go.
All right. Well, I was watching in the warm-up, Schmitty, and I hope there's nothing to this, but I noticed that William Lott was taking the snaps during warm-ups. Is Tegan okay?
Tegan was taking snaps as well.
Okay, so. I see him now. I see number 2. So obviously they just wanted to get Williams some touches. And I was watching the quarterback for IC Catholic, Dennis Mandela, and even I'm sure you fans are picking up on the broadcast the strong wind, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. Whether or not they'll throw the ball that much, we don't know. But Coach Pearson, did you see Kevin's article today on the game, Kevin?
I did not.
Well, he was saying this wide receiver, KJ Parker, 32 catches, 990 yards. One of the things they'll do is just throw him a flanker screen, and the next thing you know, he's 75 yards down the field.
Well, I think to combat that, I think you're going to see number 2, Tegan Davis, on him, shadowing him the whole game. I think that's one of the strategies by Coach Pearson and his defensive coaching staff, led by Coach Moore, Coach Smith, and Coach Black. So I think you're going to see number 2 blanketing number 14 all day long, and that's going to be an interesting matchup because I know from sitting here and knowing him as well as I do, number 2 does not like to lose very much, and so he's going to be competitive as all get out, and he's not going to want to lose this battle with number 14.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet that if Princeton is going to have a chance, Tegan's got to have a big game, and I'm sure he, you know him better than I do, but I'm sure he relishes the opportunity.
Yeah, there's never been a moment that's too big for Tegan Davis, and we say a lot of great things about him all the time, but it's going to take a collective team effort. It's going to take all 11 guys on the field on both sides of the ball to play their responsibilities, to know their responsibilities, to read their keys on defense, and to play their own spots. And if you play your own spots and do your own thing and you go rogue, that's when you get in trouble. But if you play together and play your keys and play what the coach's game plan for, you're going to be just fine.
All right. Well, we're not far from the band taking the field. I did want to get this in at some point. Over the last several weeks, we've been giving a special shout out to Dave Piper. And Dave, who was really battling some severe health problems, he passed away Thursday night. Those arrangements are through the Norberg Memorial Home, and look for something to come out in the paper here in the next few days, or you can also check the Norberg website. But Dave had a lot of friends, and not only we mentioned longtime softball commissioner, but coached a lot of youth sports, was on the Princeton Youth Baseball Board. As one person said to me, they said, who didn't know Dave Piper? But, another thing that's interesting, Schmitty, he and Paul Baumley were really good friends. So I feel like I've lost 2 giants, but 2 great guys. Schmitty, while we have just a minute before the band takes the field, if you would, Brody went over them, but if you would want to look over the 3A matchups and give your comments.
Yeah, of course, you got Elmhurst IC Catholic here at Princeton. Reed Custer's at Byron today. That's an interesting matchup. I believe the winner to these 2 games will play each other. Tolono Unity is 10-1 against Fairbury Prairie Central. They are at Fairbury. That's a 1 o'clock start too. And then A 2 o'clock game is Williamsville at Olympia. So Olympia, the only one with more than one loss in 3A. They are 7-4, kind of an underdog. So it's kind of interesting to see them come through the ranks.
Yeah,
like
do
that.
you know what famous sports writer went to Olympia?
No.
Kevin Hieronymus.
Really?
Yeah, so all right. Well, we are going to turn things over to the band for a few minutes and enjoy the Tiger Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats as the band, under the direction of Mr. Stephen Olson, honors America with our national anthem.
Yeah, so I saw it was like 40-2. They knocked out the quarterback.
officials for today's playoff game, referee Bob Ritchie, linesman Dan Rodden, umpire Mark Dale Pierre, line judge Steve Jones, and the back judge Roger Dudley.
All right, and we are back at Bryant Field, just moments away from the opening kickoff. Schmitty, one of the things I wanted to touch on is our sponsors, because we mentioned it in the beginning, but Steve Morton, who does a great job as our producer-director, he also gets the sponsors for these broadcasts, and they said at the very beginning of the playoffs, we're in for the long haul. That is something. So if you could give those folks a shout-out.
Yeah, so you got Becks, Central Bank, Princeton Redi-Crete, Michlig Energy, and Midland Bank, and also a very big thank you to the Princeton Public School Foundation.
And as our good friend and colleague Charlie Walker would say, and he's absolutely right, and I try to do it, if you're in these places of business, tell them thank you for sponsoring Tiger football. Also, a big shout out to our cameramen today, because they're making it possible for us to be able to watch these games in our living rooms and so forth. So,
yeah, it starts out with Steve Gray, Austin Gordon, Cail Piper, of course Steve Morton. All these guys do a wonderful job, and we wouldn't be able to do this without them bringing it to your TVs at home.
And they are very much human. They are enduring these elements. Brody's shaking his head because he's played that game.
It's not shaking my head yes and no. It's shaking because I'm cold.
So, we were talking, Schmitty and Brody and I, that as cold as it is here, I don't know if you've had the Weather Channel on or whatever, but down in southern Illinois, they had 5 or 6 inches of snow. So it could be worse. But Schmitty, you coach these young kids, and you think they have the ability to just put this out of their mind, how cold it is, and go out there and give it all they got?
Absolutely. I think that whole team is so competitive that they don't even care how cold it is. They want to play football. They want to give it all they got, and let's see what the score may happen at the end of the game.
Well, I know, of course, with the time switch that it's getting dark out earlier at night, and they actually had some portable lights over at Little Siberia so the kids could practice. Of course, bear in mind, and a couple of days ago, and boy, how quickly it went away, it was like 70 degrees outside, so Wick could have had baseball practice.
I remember those days.
For some reason, it seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Well, we are about set to get this one underway. As we mentioned, IC Catholic coming in at 10-1, but they are rated number 1 in the state, and whoever wins this game will play either the Reed Custer or Byron. Now, you may think, IC Catholic, they won it last year. No, they didn't, did they, Schmitty?
No, they lost to Byron. Byron came back, scored 15 points in the last 3 minutes of the contest to come back and win by 2 or 3 points. So it's never over until it's over, Norm.
Absolutely right. And even with the cold conditions, there is still a huge crowd here at Bryant Field. Getting set to kick it away for the IC Catholic Knights, and it's Brian, and it's about a 13-letter name. But anyway, Brian kicks it deep, and it sails into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Princeton will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. And by the way, Schmitty, looking at the flags, I don't know how much help the wind was on that. That was pretty much just a thunderfoot.
Yeah, it was an incredible kick. But the Tigers take it over on their 20-yard line, and let's see what Coach Pearson and this Tiger offense have in mind here right from the get-go.
IC Catholic, one of the first things you notice when you walk into Bryant Field today, they have big kids. See how the Tigers can handle them. Tight formation, and the opening handoff goes to Augie Christensen, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just a simple double dive play to Augie. Gets no yards on the play, so let's bring down 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. You're going to see a lot of cat and mouse game here early on between the two teams. Might not see anything early on, but, you know, be nice to get some field position here coming out of it at least.
Tigers hoping to generate a number of first downs and keep this IC Catholic offense off of the field. This time Davis goes into the shotgun, and he's back to throw, and his pass is complete to Noah Laporte. He is quickly covered up by J.P. Schmidt.
Yeah, just a simple hitch route to Noah. Noah caught it cleanly, turned it upfield. You can see how fast the Knights are as they were on Noah right away. Noah didn't have any time to get up the field, but gains 4 yards on the play, makes it manageable 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers.
So Davis comes out in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to each side of the field. Man in motion. And good yardage on this. Brady Byers on the carry, and he has a first down.
Yeah, a new play designed right there, and I kind of like it, as you're going to see the instant replay right here. A little motion action by Andrew Peacock goes the other way, fakes it to Augie going one way. It's a little counter direction to the other way, a little flip to Byers, who gains 9 yards on the play, brings down 1st down and 10 for the Tigers.
So a good opening sequence for the Tigers. 1st and 10 at the 34. 10-11 to go, first period, no score. This time Davis goes under center, offset I formation. And the handoff goes to Augie Christensen, and Christensen out near midfield has a first down.
You know what this is, Norm, is you're going to see the instant replay right here, is it's just a fullback lead for Augie to gain about 13 yards on the play. It's another first down for the Tigers. What this does is these early first downs, Norm, against these Knights is just building confidence for the Tigers offense, right? That's why it's so important to get off to a good start early, knowing that the kids can play with these guys. They know they can, but to see it come to fruition, I mean, it's just nice to see, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Tigers desperately need to get off to a good start, and so far so good. 1st and 10 at the Tiger 46. Davis throws, and his pass is incomplete. Intended for Brady Byers.
Just a quick slant play to Brady. Couldn't come up with it. Tegan just threw it down too low. Double coverage there. Nice job by the Knights recognizing what they were doing. Brings it down 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers.
Brody, of course, keeping track of games from around the area. And whenever you get any scores, Brody, just give us a heads up and we'll get the call over to you.
Shout out to number 51, Bennett Williams. His grandpa, Jerry Williams, is watching in North Carolina. We really appreciate you watching, Jerry.
And hope it's a little warmer in North Carolina than it is in Princeton today. Looks like IC Catholic jumped off sides, and I do see a flag.
Well, what happened was there was some confusion on the defensive line, and you saw the linebacker trying to move, or no, it was a linebacker coming down to the down position, moved the guy over, and he kind of stumbled and fell over the line of scrimmage, and it's free 5 yards for the Tigers.
So that helps. It moves the ball into IC Catholic territory at the 49-yard line.
Norm, just a quick score update. West Central's taking an early lead over Polo 6-0, and that's thanks to our good friend of the program, Dave Camp.
All right, appreciate that. Of course, that is Biggsville West Central, close to Burlington, Iowa. They're on Route 34. Now Davis is going to call his own number. Can he get around the corner? No, he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Good pursuit by the Knights there as they saw Tegan just try to take a quarterback keeper himself. Flew to the ball really well and made a nice tackle. So bring down 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers, and a big 3rd down for the Tigers.
Here Comes Tegan off the sideline as he got the play from the coaching staff. Would appear to be a running formation, but will the Tigers cross the Knights up? No, it's Augie. And Christensen has the first down and a whole lot more as he is down near the 40-yard line.
As you see, Tegan just flips it back to Augie and leads blocks for him, and it's all Augie all the time as he scampers for 11 yards there on the run. Great job of the offensive line getting off the ball. So far, the Tigers seeing a little bit of success running the ball on the outside of the tackles and taking some shots at them that way. So good job by Coach Pearson and the staff having some scripted plays that's working to our advantage.
1st and 10, Princeton at the Knights' 40-yard line. Tegan takes the shotgun snap, rolls out, and the pass is complete to Noah Laporte. Nice move by Noah, and he gets down to about the 26-yard line where it'll be another first down for Princeton.
Yeah, Tegan just held the ball just enough for Noah to settle down in that zone, and he grabbed the ball and ran, saw a crease, took advantage of it, gains 13 yards on the play. That'll bring now a first down and 10 for the Tigers, and starting off with a nice drive right now so far, bringing up the 4 first downs, 3 by rush, 1 by passing, and let's see if the Tigers can capitalize on this.
They actually mark it at the 27, 1st and 10. Opening kickoff was a touchback, and since then, as Schmidt has said, Tigers have done a nice job mixing up plays, moving down the field. And now Tegan's going to go straight ahead, breaks one tackle, does a nice job to get inside the 25 down to about the, see where they mark it here, the 24-yard line. Bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, just a good hard-fought run by Tegan. Just wasn't messing around. Just went right up the middle, tried to keep the Knights off guard, and a successful play for the Tigers.
Yeah, he'll take 3 yards a pop when you're in 4-down territory. So.
Absolutely.
This time Davis going under center. That's Preston Arkles in the backfield as handoff goes up the middle, and is that Arkles on the carry? It is, and he is hit hard and thrown backwards. Little or no gain on that play.
Yeah, just a quick dive play, quick hitter, try to get some success there. Maybe picked up a yard, maybe. Bring down a 3rd down and a long 5 for the Tigers.
Ball is spotted at about the 24-yard line.
You'd like to see the Tigers, convert on this drive here because they've sustained such a long drive. You'd like to see some points on the scoreboard.
Augie Christensen to Tegan's immediate right. It's a screen pass to Noah Laporte. He bobbles the ball momentarily, does get down to about the 20, and I'm guessing, Schmitty, that bobble probably cost him a couple yards.
Well, it was only a bobble because Tegan threw it behind him a little bit. Tegan's got to hit him, lead him in front of that, or throw it right on the numbers. He kind of had to reach for it from behind. That was a tough grab for Noah, but nonetheless, he did make the catch, gained some positive yards, and brings down a 4th down and manageable 3.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I'm glad you caught that because that pass that is behind you, that is a tremendously hard catch. So kudos to Noah to be able to reel it in at all. 4th and 3. Plenty of staccato applause in the crowd, imploring the Tigers to gain this first down. And it's Augie Christensen. He lowers his head, and it looks pretty positive. Let's see if they're going to give it to him.
That's a first down, Norm.
Yes, indeed. Augie Christensen. What's Augie got on the day, Schmitty, as far as rushing stats?
4 carries, 28 yards, so just, not a normal Augie day, 11, 12 yards a carry, but 7 yards a carry. That'll work, right, Norm?
Oh, absolutely. And against a squad of this caliber, that is terrific. You got a score for us, Brody?
I got lots of scores, Norm. Knoxville is trailing Tri-Valley 8-0. West Central and Polo are tied 6-6. Lena Winslow's taking an early lead over Fulton. Sterling is losing by 7 points to Sycamore. And in 3A, Reed, Custer 8, Byron 0. Back to you guys.
All right, so timeout being taken by IC Catholic, and pretty much an indication, Schmitty, they don't like the way things are going.
Well, you like the time of possession, right, Norm? It's 4:37 to go in this first quarter, and the Tigers have had the ball the whole time. I mean, their best defense right now is their offense, and they're showing it right here. And I think it's taken the Knights by surprise a little bit, and the Tigers are taking what the Knights give them. So if they give them 3 yards, they're going to take 3 yards. If they give them 10 yards, they're going to take 10 yards. I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, that's what you got to do, and it's got to be discipline. And so Coach Pearson and the staff has been ingraining this into these kids all week long, and they believed in the game plan. And look what's happening so far.
Tremendous. Yeah, great point. 4:37 to go in the first period. So the Tigers are really chewing up this clock. Ball at the 17-yard line of IC Catholic. Handoff goes to Augie Christensen, and this time the Knights in the person of John Goggin, 5'10", 195-pound sophomore, in on the tackle.
Well, you see how quick the linebackers are of the Knights. They got to that hole quick. They're really well coached, as you see so many coaches on the sidelines for the Knights. So they have an opportunity to coach each group on their own, and so they come together, and then this is what happens. I mean, they're a formidable team and one to be reckoned with, and the Tigers are rising to the challenge right now.
So second down and 10 at the 17. Clock dipping under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Davis has Preston Arkles to his immediate right. And it's a reverse, and this is Brady Byers. Byers gets around the corner, doesn't get the first down, but still a nice gain.
Yeah, that's a great job. Again, they used that same play that worked before, except for they didn't use the motion man this time. And Brady does a nice job of trying to spin out of a tackle and gain 6 on the play, bringing up third down and an imaginable 4 for the Tigers.
And boy, Schmitty, what a job of play calling by the Tiger coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a good job. Was number 28, Preston Arkles, made a nice key block to spring Byers loose there for that 6-yard carry there.
3rd and 4 at the 11. Augie Christensen to Tegan Davis's immediate left. And it's a direct snap to Augie. Augie gets around the corner, and he's got a first down. I do believe, we haven't seen a signal yet, but the ball is very close to the 5-yard line, and the referee says, chain gang, move on. 1st and goal at the 6.
That is the Tigers' 6th first down in this drive alone. 5 by rush, 1 by pass, and it's 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in this first quarter, and the Knights have not touched the ball yet.
Boy, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen a drive that has taken this much time, but like you said, that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
1st and goal at the 6. Clock has dipped under 2.5 minutes to go in the opening period. That's a counter to Augie Christensen, and it is a touchdown. Touchdown Princeton Tigers at the 2:17 mark of the first period. Augie Christensen on a 6-yard run on an absolutely masterful opening drive by the Princeton Tigers.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered. As you see it right here, Augie goes in motion. Tegan flips it back to him and lead blocks for him, and Augie does the rest. Nice job by the offensive line the whole darn series. I'm so fired up right now, Norm, I can't contain myself.
Oh, this is tremendous. And Carlos Benavidez adds to the fun as he kicks it nearly to Central Street. And Princeton leads 7-0 over IC Catholic. Brody, we'll go to you for more scores.
Norm, I'm still looking at the board right now, and it looks like things have stayed pretty much the same, but I'll run through them
real go
quick
right ahead.
here. So Knoxville is trailing Tri-Valley 0-8 in a tied game right now. West Central Biggsville 6-6 against the Polo Marcos. Additionally, we have Lena Winslow's taking an early lead over the Fulton Steamers, 8-0. Sterling is trailing Sycamore, 7-0. Additionally, we have Reed Custer 8, Byron 0. I'm going to be very interested to see who comes out on top. But before I give it back to you, I have to give a quick shout out to Brett Johnson, who is listening to us from his tractor right now. Thank you, Brett, and thank you all the farmers for all the hard work you guys do, and thank you for all your support.
Absolutely, and I see Schmitty is checking his phone. Anybody checking in with you, Schmitty?
Oh yeah, Marcy from Pennsylvania. She's got her whole TV room decked out. Look at that picture, Norm. She's all fired up, ready to go. You got Logan Arkles, who is Preston's brother, checking in from Eli, Minnesota, who is just snowing like crazy there.
All right, and here come the Knights on the return. They get it out to about the 31-yard line. Caleb Ellis on the return. CJ Hickey on the stop for Princeton.
So, interesting matchup. IC Catholic Knights, they have a great offense. The Tigers, we like to think that they have a great defense. Let's see how the two worlds collide here, Norm, and see who gets the advantage.
That's right. So far, we've seen that one part of the equation Princeton can handle. And here come the Knights, led by their quarterback, number 11, Dennis Mandela. Two wide receivers to the far side of the field. Mandela to throw, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Eric Carner, 6'5", 200-pounder. So
yeah, Carner just doing a little slant route. Byers there at the coverage. The throw is just slightly behind him, but great open and snap for the Tigers defense.
Isaiah Gonzalez, we mentioned him in the opening. He's their right tackle, Defensive Player of the Year in the Suburban Metro Conference, and the pass is intercepted. And this is Danny Hockey, and it is a touchdown. Touchdown, Princeton Tigers. Danny Hockey with the interception return, and it's 13-0 Princeton.
Yeah, that was a great job by Hockey. He read that screen like no other. The ball was slightly underthrown. It was a great athletic play by the kid right there, and he ran it back to the house for about 32 yards. As you see him, reads that screen pass all the way, takes it to the house. Tigers up 13-0, and the Tiger fans are going crazy right now.
The press box was going crazy,
Oh,
Schmitty.
my goodness. So, Carlos Benavidez, who just seemingly seconds ago kicked an extra point, is back out there again. In game time, it amounts to 19 seconds. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick by Benavidez is good. And the Tiger lead is now 14-0.
I got goosebumps right now, Norm. I mean, the place here is just electric. It's just what the doctor ordered for the Tigers to start out with. They just got to keep carrying that momentum. It's as you see the instant replay again, he just underthrew the intended receiver. It was on a short little screen pass, and Hockey was there to read it all the way. A great athletic move by him to make that catch, and then he knew what to do with it because he's familiar with the end zone anyways, Norman took it to the house.
Absolutely, and how about the work of our cameraman and our producer-director, Steve Morton. Tell you what, guys, as usual, phenomenal job. And Schmitty, that opening drive by Princeton, taking all that time, working so very, very effectively, maybe put the Knights in a little bit of panic mode in the sense of coming out and making a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe having a little more sense of urgency than they're used to, Norm, speeding them up a little more than they wanted to. But I think it's early enough in the game that they didn't need to. But I can guarantee that they probably never been down 14-0 like this in an opening quarter here lately.
All right, so a bouncing kick by Benavidez, and the Knights are having some trouble with this. It looks like they did manage to recover it at about their own 29-yard line. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if Princeton would have got that? We were all hoping.
Well, it's a little different. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that this might be the first game that the Knights have played on actual grass and not turf. I don't know that to be true, but that's what I have heard. But nonetheless, it's a big difference between playing on turf and as opposed to grass. You got to get your footing right, and if you're not used to it, then those kind of things will happen.
All right, so the first offensive series for the Knights resulted in a pick-6 interception. We'll see what they come up with now. And they're going to keep it on the ground. On the carry that time is Denzel Gibson, who averaged over 10 yards a carry in the regular season. This time he gets about 2.
And you can see why. Look how he's built. He is put together, Norm.
6-footer, 195 is Denzel Gibson.
But most of that 195 is all muscle.
As we dip under a minute and a half to go first period, Tigers off to a 14-0 start. And once again, it is Denzel Gibson, and not a big gain on this play either.
Yeah, Teagan missed a tackle. He tried to tackle with his head down. He needs to stay up right there. He lunged for him and needs to break it down a little bit more before he gets excited to tackle him. But nonetheless, he did trip him up, makes it a 3-yard gain to bring down 3rd down and 5 for the Knights.
Mandela in the shotgun. Key play already. 3rd down and 5. Mandela to throw. He fires and the pass is complete. It's good for a 1st down into Tiger territory. Catching that is KJ Parker, who had caught 990 yards worth of passes going into this game. So over 1,000 yards for the season for that young man.
That's their first down with 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. So keep that in mind. But nonetheless, they have some momentum now back on their side.
Mandela with the handoff, and this time they do have big yardage on the run. Once again, it is Denzel Gibson on the carry, and it is a run for a 1st down about the 38-yard line. Clock down to 17 seconds to go. Looks like the Knights will try to get in another play before the first half expires. Mandela to throw over the middle, and the pass is complete, and this is going to go for a touchdown. Eric Garner hauling that one in, a 39-yard touchdown pass at the end of the first quarter. So it's Dennis Mandela to Eric Garner.
Just a perfectly placed throw by Mandela there to Garner for that touchdown pass. I thought the coverage was there, just kind of threw it just right over the outstretched hands of Byers. You knew that the Knights were going to come back and do something, and that's okay too. So you're facing a little adversity. It's going to be 14-6 with a penny and an extra point to start the second quarter.
All right. Well, I didn't even take an attempt at their kicker's name. It is a very long name, but we'll just go with Brian Kalajek. I'm sure that's not exactly right, but
I think it's pretty close to perfect to me, Norm.
All right, so soccer-style kicker kicking towards Crown Street. These extra points are big, and the kick is good. Just eked its way inside the uprights, and our score at the end of the first period is Princeton 14, IC Catholic 7. We go to Brody for score updates.
Thanks, Norm. Tri-Valley has increased their lead over the Knoxville Blue Bullets 14-0. West Central is now trailing the Polo Marcos 14-6. Lena Winslow has increased their lead over Fulton 14-0. Sterling Warriors are still trailing Sycamore 7-0. And then in one hot off the press right now, we have a tied Byron game. Reed Custer 7, Byron 7. Back to you guys.
Oh, outstanding job, Brody. Schmitty, I noticed that during the quarter break, a tradition that I don't think's maybe I've just been missing the boat. But the mini footballs, cheerleaders throwing the mini footballs into the crowd.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice gesture, isn't it?
Oh boy, that brings back good memories. Used to be a big goal when you were a kid to catch one of those.
We got a bunch of Tiger fans watching from Iowa City today, so we appreciate you guys watching. A little shout out to you guys.
So the Knights with a big touchdown strike at the end of the first period have made this game closer. Princeton 14, IC Catholic 7. I don't know if it's in their arsenal, but I'd be on guard for an onside kick here. Logic kicks away. No, this is no onside kick. This is all the way to the 5-yard line, and the Tigers are going to return it. And it's a good return, as that's Ace Christensen getting to about the 24-yard line.
As you see, Ace just going right up the middle, found a little crease there and just got tripped up, or else he might have been still running right now. Another shout out to Caitlin DeRose. She says the lunch ladies cheering loud from the car into Cail. So we appreciate you watching.
Caitlin, a talented hairstylist. Very, very good.
You gotta love the lunch ladies.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. And they run off right guard. Augie Christensen on the carry. Only about a yard on that one. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
So the Tigers need to do exactly what they did the first drive of the game, chewing up a lot of clock and sustaining a drive here. Can't go 3 in and out here to give the Knights back the ball right away with all the momentum going in the favor of the Knights right now.
Davis in the shotgun, 2nd and 9, and Teagan looks to throw, and his pass is out of the reach of Noah Laporte. In fairness to Teagan, he kind of had to throw that direction, though, didn't he, Schmitty?
Well, it didn't look like Teagan had a very good grip on the ball to begin with, so yeah, it was an out route. Probably threw it a little more out than he wanted to. Right. Nonetheless, it brings down a big 3rd down and 10 situation for the Tigers.
J.P. Schmidt, the junior cornerback for the Knights, was closing quickly, so Teagan really couldn't lead on that. As you said, though, it wasn't where he wanted it to be. At any rate, it'll bring up 3rd down and 9, 11-12 to go before halftime. Tigers with 2 wide receivers to each side. And Davis back to throw. The offensive line does a good job, and the pass is incomplete. Just out of the reach of Danny Saihaki.
Well, he threw the ball a little bit too late, or a little bit early than he wanted to, as they had good pressure on Teagan. He got knocked down to the grass after throwing that ball, but if Teagan could have held on to that ball another split second, he would have had Saihaki off to the races. But nonetheless, Knights did a nice job on defense, and now the Tigers got to kick the ball.
Kudos, I know the play didn't work, but kudos to the Tiger offensive line. Great blocking. Teagan did have time to throw. Danny Saihaki to do the punting. Good snap, and here's the kick. It's a low kick, but takes a favorable bounce for the Tigers, and the Knights are on the return. And that return is made by Joey Gleta. And Gleta getting it down into Tiger territory. And while we set the football here, Brody, any scores?
Yeah, the Knoxville Blue Bullets are firing back against Tri-Valley. They're on the board now, 7-14.
Just looking to see, Brody, it was Knoxville, they were 9-2 coming into the game. So.
Yep, that is correct.
All right, so 1st and 10 as the early momentum belonged to Princeton. It's kind of switched over a little bit to Elmhurst IC Catholic. Mandela in the shotgun. And Schmitty, go ahead and take the penalty.
I believe it's going to be offsides on the Knights. It looked like they may be on the center. He didn't know the snap count. Everybody else did but the center. It's always embarrassing. Coming from a fellow center, you don't know the snap count, you don't snap it on time. It's a little embarrassing for you.
So they'll march it back 5.
Got a lot of fired up Tiger fans out
I was
there.
going to say, a very spirited group here at Bryant Field today. 1st and 15 for the Knights at the Tiger 44. Mandela to throw, and he's got a receiver. It's complete. Hauling that one in, Caleb Ellis, junior receiver. Ellis gets back most of the penalty yardage. It'll make it 2nd down and 10 from the 39 of Princeton. Mandela looks to throw deep, and this one is intercepted by Tegan Davis. Great athletic play by Tegan. He's still on his feet. Davis up the sideline. Davis nearing midfield, and he crosses midfield. He's got to beat Mandela, and Mandela able to make the tackle. And there is a penalty flag way, way back, Schmitty. Down around the Tiger 10-yard line.
Coach Pearson's asking for a face mask, and we're going to see what's being discussed right here, but the flag's down there. Let's see what happens. Tegan Davis with a heck of a run. As you see, Mandela throwing it out to his wide receiver, overthrows him, and Tegan just playing center field, catches it and returns it. Now here's the impressive part. He runs down the sidelines. Byers tries to block, makes a decent block, and then Tegan just runs through people, and then the quarterback ends up taking him down. So it looks like his penalty is going to be against the Knights. What a big turn of events. Wow. So the Knights had all the field position in the world, overthrows it to, I would say, the best player on the field, Tegan Davis, who intercepts it and runs it back to the sidelines. And then he does all of that. It's crazy.
I can't believe it, Schmitty.
I mean, you talk about big change in the flow of the game. The only thing that would have made it bigger is if Tegan would have taken it all the way back. But we'll see if the Tigers can cash in on this opportunity.
The nice thing is the refs had a bunch of conference there and got Tegan his breath back so he can play offense now.
You know what? That is an excellent point because that was a long run back. 1st and 10 at the 29. Exactly 10 minutes to go before halftime. Princeton leading 14-7 and on the march. And the handoff goes to Augie Christensen. And Augie just powers his way down to the 25-yard line. A good gain on 1st down.
Yeah, that's a lot of Augie there, but the offensive line doing a nice job creating those little creases that Augie can get through. So keep your eye on that. And what this does also, Norm, is that the defense has been staying on the field an awful long time. You tend to get wore out a little bit. And so that's advantage offense, definitely advantage offensive line for sure.
And Schmitty, as we get the chance, I know you probably know a lot of them by heart, but we're going to want to identify those offensive linemen because they have been doing a tremendous job in this game all season long, for that matter. 2nd down and 6 at the 25. And it's Augie once again diving ahead inside the 20-yard line. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. And now they mark it at the 20, so it'll be just short.
Yeah, Augie just got so low that the Knights couldn't come up and tackle him, and he gained 5 yards on the play to bring on a manageable 3rd down and 1, a key 3rd down and 1.
And if you would, Schmitty, some of those linemen, I know you may not be able to get them
Kate
all.
Odell, Payne Miller, PSN, you got Bennett Williams and Ian Morris.
So there you go. Tremendous job by Schmitty. 3rd down and 1 at the 20. That Tiger offensive line doing a great job, and they'll be called upon here, that's for sure. It's Augie again. He's got the 1st down. Christensen down near the 15-yard line.
We'll give him 6 yards on the carry, and it's just that little flip back where Arkles and Tegan Davis lead block, and it's all Augie. He gets low. He's low. He's small, but he's really he's got some strong legs, and he can get through there. And it's hard to see him back there in the backfield. That's for sure.
Tigers led 14-0 with 2 minutes to go in the first period. The Knights came back with a long touchdown pass, but the Tigers with a chance to open that lead up to 14 points once again, as they lead now 14-7, but they're within 15 yards of pay dirt.
Because you're going to see Tegan a lot of times look at that back judge, watch for him to count down before he snaps the ball, because they're going to run some clock down.
Exactly right. The back judge now he goes to the 5 count, and Davis takes the snap, and the handoff goes to C.J. Hickey, and Hickey with maybe 2 or 3 yards on the game.
That's C.J.'s first carry of the day. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, we'll call it. Bring down the 2nd down and 7 situation for the Tigers.
7:37 to go before halftime. Brody, you've got a halftime guest coming up?
Yeah, I do. Addie Heck. She was on the golf team and a cheerleader. I think we'll enjoy our halftime interview together.
All right. Well, yeah, we're looking forward to that, to be for sure. 2nd down and 7, and seemingly, Schmitty, time after time, we're saying big play, but it is. There's no let up in this one. Counter play. And the Knights pretty well onto it this time. Little or no gain on the play. Augie Christensen on the carry.
That's Augie's 13th carry for 56 yards. That's okay. We're not worried about Augie's yard per carry so much as how many carries he's getting. If he's going to get a lot of carries, that's advantage Tigers all day long.
So a huge play here. 3rd down and 6 from the Knights 12. Noah Laporte wide to the left, and Davis is going to go right. He calls his own number, turns the corner, and maybe ekes out a couple of yards, but he's going to be short of the 1st down. 4th down, and the Tigers will have a decision to make. Will they go for it, or will they opt for a field goal? It's certainly within Carlos Benavidez's range.
We'll give Tegan a gain of 3 on the play, but it's a manageable 4th down and 4 now, or a 4th down and 3. It's a long 3.
And with this wind, a kick would be no sure thing.
I think you're going to see Coach Pearson maybe call a timeout here. I think he's going to maybe wind the clock down, call a timeout. See what the defense shows in a certain formation and might call a timeout. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm kind of reading right now. He says a delay game on the Tigers, but I didn't even see the back judge count until one arm.
Yeah, that was a bizarre set of circumstances, and now this changes the thinking, as I see Carlos Benavidez is coming out for a field goal attempt.
We're going to call it a 31-yard field goal attempt.
This wind is kind of swirling, so the kick is on the way, and it is no good. It is no good. It is off to the left, and our score will remain tied, 14-7. So Benavidez with plenty of leg, but just a little bit off the mark. And certainly, Schmitty, that delay of game, that hurt.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that, but I think Brody's got some scores to go to.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Brody.
Thanks, guys. So, Tri-Valley's increased their lead again over the Knoxville Blue Bullets, 22-7. The Marco Polos against Biggsville West Central Heat is tied 14-14. Lena Winslow has increased their lead over Fulton, 22-0. In the Sterling game, we still have 0-7. Sycamore over Sterling. And then lastly, Byron is now ahead of Reed Custer, 14-7. Back to the action.
All right, bad snap, and the Tigers able to capitalize as they get Denzel Gibson in the backfield. This is going to be a loss of about 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13 as the clock nears 5 minutes to go before halftime.
Wildcat formation was a low snap, and the Knights were fortunate just to pounce on it and loses 3 yards in the play, 2nd down and 13. Shout out to a host of Tiger fans watching us from Pittsburgh in the hotel at the Holiday Inn. We really appreciate you guys watching.
Well, the Knights have proven that they like to throw the ball, but this time they keep it on the ground. And KJ Parker, who's their outstanding wide receiver, he was in the backfield, and that play did not work whatsoever.
Back-to-back Wildcat plays, back-to-back non-successful plays.
3rd and 13. Well, for all the prowess of the Knights throwing the football over 2,200 yards this season, Tigers have 2 interceptions in this
Watch
game.
Cy Hockey coming on the backside, just cleans his clock on that backside. Now they're into more of a spread formation.
Mandela waits the snap. He's back to throw. He's under heavy pressure, gets it away, and it is complete, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. Calling that one in was the running back, Denzel Gibson. But it'll bring up 4th down, and let's see, about 5.
Yeah, it's a screen pass to Gibson, and Bennett Williams doing a nice job hustling on his end, forces him to be a big 4th down for the Tigers, or for the Knights. Nice job by the Tigers defense to come true on that, as long as they actually end up kicking the ball.
Excellent point. Need to be alert that maybe they won't kick it. Here is the punt. It's nearing the 50-yard line. A fair catch is called for and made by Noah Laporte at the 46-yard line as we go to Brody for a scoreboard update.
Yeah, just a couple scores here real quick. Lena Winslow's increases their lead over the Fulton Steamers 30-0, and Reed Custer has now taken the lead against Byron 15-14. Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to Coach Eric Tinley, who's watching from home. Coach, glad you're with us. Back to you guys.
All right, indeed. Hello to Eric Tinley. Great guy, right, Schmitty?
Yeah, excellent guy. He's always reaching out. He was one of the first guys to reach out to me 4 years ago when I took the Tigers basketball job, and I'll be forever grateful for him reaching out and you know, asking me if I need anything. He's always there, so I really appreciate that.
Well, we're so glad that you are here coaching Princeton basketball as Augie Christensen on the carry. And Christensen with good yardage, knocked out of bounds. Almost wondered if there'd be a penalty flag there for unnecessary roughness. That does not happen, but it is a gain of about 6 on 1st down. Clock a factor, 3:06 to go before halftime.
You see Arkles out there lead blocking, but you saw Ian Morris pulling with Bennett Williams on the outside, just washing everybody down, doing a nice job on that double team, creating Augie a crease to get up the field. So he gets a key 6 yards in the play, and it's going to bring down 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers.
Want to give a shout out to Kathy Hermeyer, the popular receptionist at Heartland Bank, cousin of our colleague Tiffany Gonigam. She's watching the game today as Augie Christensen on the carry, and it appears he has a 1st down.
Augie's so hard to get down. Uses that wrestling background to his advantage, keeps his feet going, gains 5 yards on the play, and it's a must-needed 5 yards as the Tigers need to sustain another long 3-minute drive here, hopefully convert it into points, and not let the IC Catholic Knights come back on offense.
As we watch the clock, it's 2:45 and counting before halftime. So the Tigers, if they're going to score somewhere in here, need a bit of a big play. Tigers still have 3 timeouts. Davis is going to roll to his left. Can he get around the corner? He gets to about the 40-yard line, so it'll be a short gain and bring up about 2nd and 8. Clock continues to run, so apparently they rule he was stopped in bounds.
That's okay. That's okay. We got timeouts we can use if you're the Tigers, and that role play is okay also because it sets up other plays. So even if you gain 2-3 yards, it might set up another play that'll gain you 7 to 8 yards down the road. So this is all just a cat and mouse game with Coach Pearson, who's doing an excellent job so far scripting these plays.
And obviously, you know, if you had your choice, you'd like to score with whatever, 10 seconds left in the half, because these Knights are that dangerous. So Davis rolls to his right, throws, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Brady Byers, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, big number 54 for the Knights there. Jaden Sutton, 6'3", 265 yards, was there to create pressure for Teagan. Teagan threw it, probably threw it while he's going down to the ground, but nonetheless, that big boy comes at you. Watch out.
And for the most part, the Tiger offensive line has been able to keep the Knights off of Teagan Davis. Of course, when a quarterback rolls out, it makes it even harder yet. So, 3rd down and 8 at the 40. Cy Hockey to the left. Peacock in motion. And this is a reverse to Brady Byers. He's got some room, and Byers is going to go all the way. Brady Byers, a 40-yard run for the touchdown.
Oh my! 1:23 to go in the quarter. Byers scores a 40-yard touchdown run on a counter reverse that we seen earlier that gained him 9 yards. And Peacock does the same thing, comes in motion, goes back the other way. A good kickout block by Payne Miller and Augie Christensen. And Byers is athletic and very fast, as you can see. Scampers in for a 40-yard run. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. The play calling, and of course the coaches will tell you we can call all the plays in the world. The guys have to execute them, and that's certainly being done. A little bit of confusion by the Knights as Carlos Benavidez for the kick.
They got too many men on the field. They got to call that.
There were too many men on the field, and the referees, the crowd, letting them have it. Coach Pearson's out there. You would think that one of them would have seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's either offsides or too many men on the field or something, because he was on the field on the 20-yard line as the kick's being on. Something's got to be called there.
Well, look.
I think they just missed it. I mean, they're human just like we are. I think they just missed one there. Unfortunately, we didn't come up with the extra point when we need to make one there. 20-7, Tigers. Brody, you got any updated scores?
Yeah, I do. Tri-Valley's increased their lead over Knoxville 30-7, as well as Sycamore has increased their lead over Sterling 14-0. Back to you guys.
Well, you're exactly right, Schmitty. I imagine all the officials were looking at the snap and the hold, and nobody was looking to see that extra player. 20-7 it is with 1:23 to go before halftime. Boy, if the Tigers wind up losing by a point, though, my oh my. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Kick goes out of bounds, so this is going to be fortuitous for the Knights. Penalty flag thrown.
I think they're going to have Princeton re-kick probably.
Chain gang has went to the 35-yard line, and the ball is being marked. So, okay, I guess they're just going to take good field position. The Knights do have 2 timeouts and 1:23 to go before halftime. Knights have thrown 2 interceptions in this game, and last time were reluctant to put it in the air. We'll see what they do on this drive as they have 65 yards to cover in 1:23. Mandela fields the low snap, fires away, and this pass is complete. Hauling that one in is Eric Garner, 6'5", 200-pounder, and it's a gain of about 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. Clock running with 1:07 to go before halftime.
If you're the Tigers defense, just keep everything in front of you. That is your job.
Mandela fires away, and the pass is complete to the running back, Denzel Gibson. Very close to a first down. It's right at midfield, and the referee says, chain gang, move on down. Clock stops as Gibson went out of bounds. 58 seconds to go. IC Catholic at the 45. This pass complete to Garner once again. Gain of about 6 or 7. Mark it at the 48 of Princeton. Stops the clock with 53 seconds, and again, the Knights do have 2 timeouts.
If you're the Tigers, you'd like to keep them inbound, so they have to use a timeout. But you know, these little 7-yard plays just gonna nickel and dime you.
This time they keep it on the ground, and this is big yardage. On the carry that time, it was Joy Gliotta on the carry, and Gliotta gets it down to the 30-yard line, and he goes out of bounds, so stops the clock with 46 seconds to go. Really, clock not that big of a factor now for the Knights. They have plenty of time. Mandela with the handoff. It's Gliotta once again. Gets away. Gliotta still on his feet, and he runs out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Another first down for the Knights. 36 seconds to go before halftime.
And now the Knights are knocking on the Tigers' door at the 19-yard line, and that's with some rushing plays, and they're still getting out of bounds, and they still have their 2 timeouts left.
Mandela awaits the snap. And Mandela looks to throw. He fires away. It's a low throw, and it is caught. Reeling that one in is the outstanding receiver, KJ Parker, and the Knights will use one of their 2 timeouts after about a 5-yard gain.
I got some score updates for you, Norm, real quick.
Sure.
The Polos have increased their lead over West Central 22-14, as well as Fulton's now on the board against Leno Winslow 30-7. Back to you guys.
All right, so we were talking before the game, Brody, how ironic that 2 of the finalists in 8-man football, you have Polo and Amboy just a few miles apart.
Exactly, and that Amboy game starts at 2 o'clock, and I have some friends of that game, so we'll hopefully get some good score updates here pretty quickly.
That'd be neat if we had Polo and Amboy for the state championship.
That would be awesome.
All right, so it's been a good drive for the Knights. They are at the 14-yard line, 2nd and 6. They've done a nice job of mixing in the run and the pass. Mandela back to throw, fires away, and we've got dual possession. What are they going to rule? They're going to call it a catch as Brady Byers and Garner both had their arms around the football. And another timeout by IC Catholic. That'll be their final timeout with 18 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they already called a timeout. And now they're going to measure it, see if it's a first down and out.
So the chain gang will have to come all the way across the field.
Got the former girls basketball coach, John Turner, watching from Indiana, so we appreciate you watching. Here's one. Tommy Rose watching us.
Oh, gosh, we love Tommy.
Yeah,
What a
we
great
appreciate
guy.
Tommy, yep. Thanks for watching, Tom.
First down for the Knights, apparently. Not sure what the delay is. They're getting another football. All right, so we'll be ready to go here shortly. 18 seconds before halftime. First and goal at the 8. Knights scored at the end of the first quarter with no time left on the clock.
They did not use that timeout because they're winding the clock, so they did not use that timeout.
And the pass is actually deflected twice, once at the line and once by Tegan Davis, and it's incomplete.
Watch this coverage by number 2, Tegan Davis. Our guy versus their best guy, and this one was advantage Tegan Davis. Nice job, Teagues. Wish you would have caught that one, though.
Outstanding, Tegan.
Mandela back to throw, fires away. The pass is complete. Gibson hauls it in at the 5 and goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock as we're down to 6 seconds. Third and goal from the 5.
It's going to be interesting. This might be the last play of the... Well, they might have enough time to squeeze another play in.
Mandela awaits the shotgun snap. He's back to throw, fires to the end zone. It is incomplete. Going for the 6'5" receiver, Garner. I don't see any flags. Do you, Schmitty?
No flags.
All right, so 4th down and 5 with 1 second to go.
They'll use their last timeout here.
Well, you guys get all these texts in. I just got a text from a guy that he is watching the game in a painted room, and he says he's cold, so he's adding a second coat. That's the Malden grade school humor there that we start our day off with.
Yeah, good old Malden Musketeers, Norm.
I mean, you know you're cold when you're adding that second coat.
I can't even respond to that one, Norm.
Norm, I'm just surprised you have a phone.
It was pure memory, Brody. No phone. Okay, 4th down and 5. 1 second to go. What's Mandela throwing the ball, Schmitty? Do you have that as far as how many attempts? Well, anyway, doesn't matter. They're going to keep it on the ground, and it's very, very close, but he doesn't get in. That is Denzel Gibson coming up short.
Danny say hockey, Ian Morris. That's a big, big play to start this second half. Officials are talking about it. No good. The Knights are not happy about it. Tigers are up 27. Halftime, it's go time.
Good night, Irene.
Wow, what a tremendous job as we take a look at the replay. You can see the big pile up. And yeah, no question about it. The Knights come up short. We're at halftime. It is 20-7. Princeton leading. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the band. Brody will have a halftime guest, and Schmitty will have the stats. We sure appreciate you tuning in. And now we'll turn things over to the band.
For this bonus playoff performance, the band has selected a favorite tune from one of our basketball binders, one of the classics from Chicago. This is 25 or 624. Please welcome to the field the Princeton High School Pom Squad under the direction of Ms. Abby Cochran and co-captains Lexi Boswell and Sadie Thornton. This afternoon, the Poms and band return to their selection from the second game of the season. This is from the Jonas Brothers. This is Sucker.
And we're back for our halftime interview with Addie Hecht. Addie, looking outside, it is now snowing, sleeting, raining. What is this?
I don't know. I don't like it though. I'm freezing.
Yeah, you've been out there freezing. Tell me.
Yes.
It's cold out there. You know, this is why we sent Cail out there to be our cameraman.
Yeah.
This is why I sit inside the press box.
See, that's the best job you can have right now.
You know, I tell the story, and Norm's heard me say this a million times, the story about last year's second-round playoffs. I was coming off of food poisoning.
Oh, nice.
And I was stuck on top of the press box holding an umbrella in a 40-degree rainstorm with Mr. Gray. And let me tell you, that was as miserable as it gets. And,
I bet.
So this is why we sent Cail outside this year. All right. So thank you, Cail, for being our camera guy and making sure that I can stay warm. So what are your thoughts on the game thus far, Eddie?
It is so exciting. My head is pounding. But other than that, it is so fun. The cheerleaders are really excited to be here and everything. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, this this doesn't get much better than this. What an exciting back and forth slugfest. This is awesome.
I know.
It's good to be a Tiger fan right now. That's
Heck
for
yeah.
sure. I was just saying earlier when me and Norm, before we went on the air, the field looks phenomenal. I wish it was a little warmer, but that's okay.
Don't we all?
It's a great day for the blue and white.
Yes.
So anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself for those at home that may not know you.
Okay, I am a junior at Princeton High School. I'm a cheerleader and I play golf. I want to be a teacher. And yeah.
So, we'll get into the teacher thing here in just a second, but let's talk about cheerleading and golf. So, being a cheerleader, what's your favorite thing about being a cheerleader?
Oh, football. Just
Football.
like football and pregame is the best when we run out and do Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. And when the boys run out, that's the best.
Sure. And tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the golf season. Now, I've had Coach Crawford up here, and I've had Cail up here talking about golf.
Yeah.
But tell us your thought from the ladies' golf standpoint on how
Okay.
the season went.
So, I'm a first-year golfer. Picked up my first club this summer, and I just decided to join the golf team. And
Yeah.
I had a blast. I made the varsity team, which I was pretty happy about.
Excellent.
I didn't go very far in the season, not doing very good at regionals, but I had a blast. There was only one meet of tears,
Yeah.
and other than that, it was a great season.
Well, good. And I'm sure Coach Passmore was happy to have you on the team, especially coming from the fact we didn't have that many girl golfers last year, and then
Yeah.
suddenly, boom, we had more girl golfers to know what to
Yeah.
do with.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. I'm glad you had a wonderful golf season.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you're going to be playing golf anytime soon, though.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too cold and miserable for
Yes,
that.
I
Talk
agree.
about a temperature shift between last week
know.
and this week, though. That's
I
for
know.
sure. So you said you wanted to be a teacher. What level, what area? Tell us about that.
So I want to go into early elementary,
Okay.
or my goal is to be a second grade teacher.
Oh, second. So
Yeah.
that's specific, huh?
Yes.
Is there a reason why second grade, or
Well, I'm in CCO, Child
Okay.
Care Occupations.
with Mrs. Wagner?
Yes, and my class that I go off campus with is a third grade class, and they are just way too smart for me.
Oh yeah.
They're just too advanced, and I think second grade's a good level for me.
Sure. Well, that's wonderful. We always need more teachers, and that
Yes.
that warms my heart as a teacher, knowing that the future's in good hands, especially at the elementary level. So let's switch to the academic side of things for a second. You mentioned CCO. You mentioned Mrs. Wagner. So what is your favorite class at Princeton High School?
CCO.
Okay, well, that was a quick answer.
Yes.
You have no
I love it.
hesitation.
Uh-huh.
Just working with the little ones?
Yeah, the preschoolers just came 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
November 1st was their first day.
Yeah, the Tiny Tigers,
Uh-huh. And it's so much fun. It's
Sure.
exactly what I want to do, and it's just a lot of fun.
There you go. What is your favorite high school memory? I don't softball questions up here, do I?
No. Well, my freshman year was COVID.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to anything my freshman year. Honestly, cheerleading. Everything to do with cheerleading, the basketball games, the football games.
Sure.
Those are the funnest times I've had.
Yeah, there you go. Who has been either at Princeton or when you were at the junior high or the elementary level, of all the teachers you've had, who is your favorite teacher thus far?
Oh my goodness. Let me think.
And no, you don't have to answer Mr. Anderson.
I really love Mrs. Wagner.
Oh, yeah.
She is my favorite. I had her for foods last year, and it was just so easygoing. She understands what people do and what people are going through.
Sure.
And she's very soft and just very nice.
Very good, very good. All right, so how about this one? As a junior, if you could give a piece of advice to a freshman, what would it be?
Make all the friends you can.
Oh, yeah?
And, don't be scared to talk to the upperclassmen, because I became very close to the seniors this year on the cheer team, and they're my best friends, and I wish I wasn't scared to talk to them, and I wish I, opened up to them before, and, they're my best friends now.
Very good. And now let me flip this question on its head for you. If you could give any advice to freshman you, what would it be?
Well, okay. So I had COVID, as you know.
Yeah.
And everything was online. And I wish I tried harder. Because, I don't know, I got like an A- my freshman year. And that obviously brings your GPA down. So I could be getting a 4.0, but I didn't try, and I got an A- my freshman year. So other than that, I think I'm good.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Well, Addie, thanks for coming up today. And, we're going to kick you out of the nice warm press box, unfortunately, and
Darn
send
it.
you back out into the cold. But we appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
Yep, so we'll see you later. And why don't you give that headset back to Norm, who's right behind you.
Perfect.
Thank you again,
guys.
Addie. Yep. Turn it up! Well, Norm, let me tell you, we got a lot of scores that are coming in right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me roll through those real quick for you. So it's after 2 o'clock. It's 2:15. That means all the 2 o'clock games have just started. So for boys varsity football, Knoxville is still losing to Tri-Valley 30-7. The Marco Polos have increased their lead over West Central 22-0. Sycamore and Sterling 14-0 going to Sycamore. Leno Winslow is really opening up against Fulton 44-7. Maroa Forsyth 7, Rock Ridge 0. You also have the Dakota Foreston game going on right now. Dakota Indians are ahead of the Foreston Cardinals 7-0. And lastly, I have an update from the Amboy game, courtesy of Mr. Jason Wilt, who is the principal and athletic director at Ohio. He was telling me earlier today that of the 8-man football team, 2 of those 8 men are Ohio Bulldogs in the co-op. So the Bulldogs make up 25% of the Clippers.
Way to go,
Yep.
Ohio.
Yep, the Bulldog blood still runs deep. Anyway, Jason says to me that it is 8-0 Amboy with 9:30 left in the first quarter. Thanks a lot, Jason, for the score update.
And Brody, we appreciate you with your great effort on the
Thank you, Norm.
scoreboard updates. Let's see, Schmitty is nearby. We'll bring him back for any stats or comments that he has. I have a hunch they might jumpstart this second half kickoff, even though there's like 2:30 showing on the board.
Well, the interesting thing I got, other than the stats, is that the Tigers had 29 plays going into. They got 29 total plays, right, Norm? But going into that last drive before the Knights dinked and dunked us to death there at the end to no prevail, the Knights only had 11 plays going into that last possession.
Wow.
That's what you're talking about. Time of possession, advantage Tigers. Now, Tigers got to do more of the same there in the second half because, the Knights have made some corrections as well as the Tigers did. And we're going to see who came out with the best corrections here coming out the second half. But more of the same from the Tigers. Good ball possession, making it count. Time of possession, time of possession is key as well. So, it's going to be a buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride the second half, Norm.
Oh, no question. And how big was that the Tigers were able to keep the Knights out of the end zone there at the end of the half?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great stop. I believe it was Morris and Cy Hockey there, 2 of the Tigers leading the way there. But nonetheless, it had to have been inches, and sometimes this football game is a game of inches. So that was, advantage Tigers there. Tigers got to capitalize that. I know the Knights come out with the football to start the second half, so that was even more of an important possession to stop them as well. So Tigers got a lot of momentum. Home field advantage does pay dividends here in the first half. Let's see it continues in the second half.
The enrollment of IC Catholic is listed at 323. And I'm not saying this sarcastically, but at least half the boys in the school must go out for football because they have more bench players than what Princeton does. And Princeton's enrollment is 5:46. But at any rate, we are set to go. Carlos Benavidez will be kicking towards Central Street. Kind of a swirling wind here at Bryant Field, and it's a bouncing kick fielded by the Knights at the 20-yard line. They just bring it straight ahead, and they've got big yardage. In fact, tight-roping the sidelines is KJ Parker, and he gets it all the way to the Tiger 46-yard line.
So special teams got to clean that up a little bit. That was a big gaping hole by their big play Parker receiver, and you're putting your best athletes in positions where they can succeed, and they put them back to return this kick, and it paid dividends for the Knights as they got good field position to start out this third quarter.
They actually moved the ball back about a yard. We'll spot it 1st and 10 at the Tiger 47-yard line. 20-7 in favor of Princeton. Mandela is the quarterback for the Knights. And Mandela calls his own number. It's a sliding attempt. We'll see where they spot that ball down.
You can kind of tell that Mandela's not used to running the ball that much, but it was a RPO read that he took care of it, ran himself for 4 yards, bringing out 2nd down and 6.
At the Tiger 43. Mandela to throw. The pass is complete, and a good tackle by the Tigers' Augie Christensen, as hauling that one in was J.P. Schmidt, and it's good for a 1st down for the Knights.
Just barely got a 1st down, but nonetheless a 1st down it is. That's going to be the first down in the second half for the Knights.
Clock running, 11:14 to go in the 3rd period. Mandela, handoff goes right up the middle, and what a great tackle by the Tigers.
Bennett Williams
yeah.
on the defensive line position, a man-child down there, did a nice job of tackling, holds him to maybe a gain of a yard. Ian Morris there as well.
Malik Gray, the 5'10 senior, on the carry for the Knights. 2nd down and 9 at the Tiger 36. The IC coaching staff waving frantically to Mandela. And this is Gibson on the run. Big yardage. He goes down the sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds by Tegan Davis down near the 5-yard line.
So he ran to the outside, and it looked like that the Knights might have got away with a hold there, as you saw the tucking of the jersey and just pulled it there at the end. But the ref was so infatuated watching number 7 run that he just he didn't see it.
1st and goal at the 4 for the Knights. Gibson on the carry, and he is hit in the backfield and taken down.
Cade Odell.
Cade
Odell coming through, doing a nice job of making the tackle, and Bennett Williams was there as well. So the defensive linemen coming through right now for the Tigers as they need to. It's a big goal line stand right here by the Tigers. As you see the instant replay coming up here at home, Cade Odell just comes unblocked and comes down crashing from the end position.
2nd down and goal from the 6. Once again, the Knights keep it on the ground, and once again, the Tigers able to put up a stop. Slight gain on the play for Malik Gray. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 4. 9:32 and counting, 3rd quarter. Tigers lead 20-7. Spirited crowd here at Bryant Field cheering that Tiger defense on. And this is Gibson on the carry, turns the corner. He's very close to the goal line, but no signal. He is stopped just short, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Big 4th down here play they only have to go a matter of inches. You'd like to think that they're just going to quarterback sneak it. They put some beefier kids in, the Tigers did, as Grady Cox, a freshman, came checking in. And it's a sideline warning against the Knights, as you see them all unison backing up off the sidelines at the same time.
So here we go, 4th down and 1. And as Schmitty said, probably less than a yard here. Mandela's actually in the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff goes to Gibson.
Didn't get it!
And he is hit short. He is stopped short. The Tigers have come up with another goal line stand once again.
Are you kidding me, Norm? What a great stand by the Tigers. Could not get a 4th and inches call. A great job by the whole front of the defensive line. As you can check it right here, you got everybody lined up in the line of scrimmage. The defensive line holds through. And who was that? Cy Hockey, Noah Laporte there, Ian Morris. But a great job by the defensive line to make that happen for those defensive backs to get through and make the tackle.
And I was like you. I was shocked that they just didn't go quarterback sneak with their size and so forth to go out of the shotgun.
Well, you could tell he wasn't used to running the ball, period, when he slid down there earlier in that possession.
So the Tigers, though, still in some trouble. 1st and 10 at their 2. Can they eke it out from the goal line a little bit? Well, Augie picks up a couple of yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And, well, they're only going to give him about 1. 2nd down and 9 from the 3.
Tigers, I think it's important for them to get a 1st down here, to make another big push right here, to make another long drive as well, to waste some time off the clock. They're up 2 scores right now, and if they could get a 1st down here, it's going to pay off really big for them if they get a 1st down in this first series of possession.
Clock ticking away, 7:40 and counting here in the 3rd period. Princeton's lead 20-7. It's a direct snap, and on the run is Tegan Davis.
I'm okay with that. That gets you some room away from the end zone. Now you got a 3rd down and manageable 5. Great play call by Coach Pearson. He's clicking on all cylinders as well as this Tiger offense and defense. And big 3rd down. I can't stress to you how big of a 1st down this is to pick this up.
3rd down and 5 from the 7. Will they put it in the air, or they've had some creative running plays with Brady Byers on a reverse that's given the Knights fits. Kind of a dangerous area to run a reverse, however. It's Davis on the carry, and he is going to come up short. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Probably just a safe call there for the Tigers. Try to get in your best playmaker's hands. Davis kept it, didn't gain anything. Now you got some room to kick the ball out of. Now it's important to get a good snap off, sustain your blocks, and get a good kick.
So Danny Cy Hockey standing in his own end zone. Set to punt this one away. A good snap, and here's the kick. A good kick by Cy Hockey, fielded at midfield, and we've got a marker down on the field. And a good tackle by Carson Etheridge at about the 49 of Princeton.
So people and the fans are upset because they had guys out on the field. The problem was they had 11 out there. The 11th guy came off to make it 10. I counted. So they're not going to get counted for 12 men on the field when they only have 10.
All right, well, thank you for that, Schmitty. 1st and 10 for IC Catholic. And Brody, go ahead, give us score updates.
In the Tri-Valley game, the Vikings have increased their lead over Knoxville, 38-7. Amboys increased their lead over St. Thomas More, 14-8. Let's watch this play real quick, though.
All right, Mandela in the shotgun. Mandela throws, and the pass is complete. And we have a penalty flag, as catching that ball was J.P. Schmidt. Maybe that's the holding call we were looking for.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be a holding call on Peacock. That's a big mismatch if you're the Knights going against height advantage there. Number 19, who is 6'5", 200 pounds, going against Peacock, who's only 5'5". So you almost got a whole foot there advantage there, and that's advantage Knights all day long. But Peacock holding his ground created a hold penalty, and now the Knights are backed up first down, and we'll call it, what, Norm, 14, 15?
Sounds good as we go back to Brody.
So the West Central Heat is still trailing the Marco Polos 28-20. Sycamore has increased their lead over Sterling 21-0. Lena Winslow 44, Fulton 7. And lastly, Reed Cruster 15, Byron 22. Back to the plays.
Boy, that game has been going back and forth all day as the Knights keep it on the ground. And getting close to a first down is Joy Gliata on the carry.
There was a little rumor that last week that the Knights got away with a lot of holding calls. I've been watching closely. I think they've been doing a pretty good job. The last two drives when they've had big plays, though, I think they've gotten away with a couple of different holding calls. But nonetheless, they know what they're doing and how to hold, so we'll give props to them for that.
Second down and 1. Gliata on the carry. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet, all the way down to close to the Tiger 30-yard line. Payne Miller on the stop.
Norm, this one's hot off the press. Byron's increased their lead by a field goal, 15-25.
All right, thanks, Brody. So a 10-point advantage there. Mandela to throw. He has his man, and this is going to go for big yardage. Hauling that one in is Caleb Ellis, and he's got a first down.
Well, the problem is now that the Knights have sustained a running game, now they can do play action pass and have the Tigers bite, and that's exactly what happened right there. As the Tigers bit on that one, and now the Knights can really pick and choose what they want to do.
Occasional snow flurry dotting the air here at Bryant Field. 1st and 10, 4:52 to go, third period. The Knights are on the march, and Mandela hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
Carson Etheridge there to slow him up, and Danny Sahaki there to wrap him up and tackle him down. But that was all created by the pressure by Carson Etheridge, who tracked him down from the blind side, and Sahaki finished up the tackle.
2nd and 10 for the Knights at the 16. Can the Tigers come up with yet another goal line stop? Nothing secret here. Gliata right up the middle. Look at him power ahead. In fact, he's very close to the goal line by the time he hits the ground.
That's just a lot of power by that young man there. Tiger's going to have to wrap him up and hit him low in the legs because he keeps his legs a-churning there.
Gliata 5'9" and 165. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get this carry. It is Gliata, and do we have a signal? Not yet.
You know, the important thing is as you watch this replay here, a great shot from the end zone there. So you see Ian Morris and Carson Etheridge there to fill it, and then Augie and Payne making sure that he doesn't score. The thing that's not talked about is how much time's running off the clock because you're not converting those.
Excellent point. Yeah, down to 3.5 minutes to go.
Excellent replay done by Cail Piper, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that camera angle was really, really good.
Hey, shout out real quick to Kelsey and Andrew Sarver. Andrew is our assistant girls basketball coach. They're watching from their house out in Birdhaven. So thanks for watching, guys.
Well, the Tiger defense has been amazing, and as Schmitty said, hopefully, they can come up with a stop here, but the third quarter is rapidly going by, so Tigers would love a stop here in this situation.
A young man I coach, Cody Sangs, watching it from St. George, Utah. He said he just watched his local high school team win the state last night. So he's cheering for the Tigers. We appreciate you watching, Cody. Another one, Scott Varana, watching from Oregon. We really appreciate you, Scott. He's in, the son of announcer Mike Varana here, who does our PA announcing, and so I want to make sure to give him a shout out as well.
All right, big play here. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mandela hands to Gliotta, and he is in for the touchdown from 1 yard out with 3:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dominic Gliotta.
No secret there. We knew where they were going to go with it, right? It was just a matter of us stopping it, and to sustain 2 goal line stances like that against a formidable opponent like themselves, as the Knights are. It's tough. It's a tough challenge to haul. So, nonetheless, Tigers are still leading.
Brian Kolajic on for the PAT attempt. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good, and that makes the score Princeton 20, IC Catholic 14, with 3:26 to go in the 3rd period, and we'll go to Brody for scores.
Hey, thank you, Norm. Knoxville is still trailing Tri-Valley 46-7. 28-20, Polo is ahead of West Central. Sycamore 21, Sterling Going Warriors 0. At half, Leno Winslow 44, Fulton 7. Amboy Lamoille 14, St. Thomas More 8. Additionally, Rochelle has taken the lead over St. Francis 8-0. Quick shout out to my buddy Doug Johnson, who's watching, having lunch right now. Back to you guys.
All right, we appreciate the score updates. Brody, what's the latest we have on Byron and Reed Custer?
Norm, last score update I had was 25-15.
All right.
Sorry, Brody.
No, that's okay.
No, you're good.
That's been going kind of back and forth, but apparently Byron.
I was told by your buddy Dave Camp that that the Reed Custer took the lead by some gimmick plays. So they called it the polecat, where they had 3 offensive linemen in the middle and separated them off to the sides. Scored 2 big plays and scored on both of those out of 3 plays. So trying to run some gimmick offense against Byron's potent defense.
All right, a high kick, and it is fielded at the 5. Well, fumbled momentarily. Here comes the return. This is
Ace Christensen
on the return, and what looked somewhat disastrous for a moment actually turns out fairly well as Ace gets it out beyond the 20-yard line.
So yeah, that could have been a disaster, but Ace turned nothing out of something into something, I guess you want to say, and say that 5 times real fast. Whoa, Norm. But it could have been a disaster. But Ace picking up about 20 yards after he fumbled that inherited big high kick, booming kick, tough one to catch.
3:18 to go, 3rd quarter. The Tiger lead is 6, 20-14. A huge drive for Princeton. And Tegan Davis is going to call his own number, and he's hit in the backfield for a loss. On the tackle is Giovanni Ortiz for the Knights.
Yeah, we need to run downhill there. If you're going to go east and west, these Knights are going to soak that up because they are a fast, quick team. And nonetheless, the Tigers got a long 2nd down ahead of them. Try to gain half of it if you can.
That's a good point. You don't have to get it all in one shot. 2nd and 15 from the 18-yard line. Davis back to throw, fires away, and this pass is nearly intercepted. It was intended for Noel Laporte and tipped away by J.P. Schmidt.
Bunch of people watching us down in Tisquoa at Kelly's. We appreciate all you guys watching us as well. So keep cheering for the Tigers. Got a long haul ahead of us. A little over a quarter left to go. Need every way to cheer and good thoughts for the Tigers, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
3rd and 14. We said before the Tigers didn't need to get it all on one play, but this time they do. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side. And Davis back to throw, fires away, and the pass is complete to Danny Sayhaki. And it's going to be very close as to whether or not he has the first down.
From that mark, Norm, I think he's got it.
And he does. Why? What a clutch play by Tegan Davis and Danny Sayhaki.
Well, Coach Bowen does a nice job of coaching the defensive backs for the Knights. So he's going to throw a lot of gimmicky coverages at you. That was just a zone coverage, and Sayhaki sat down right in the middle of the zone, which was been obviously talked about. Tegan with a nice job having patience and completing that pass, but most of all, giving Tegan the time to throw that ball by the offensive line was huge.
Now it's C.J. Hickey on the carry, and he picks up about a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Got to make sure you sustain those blocks. Sustain those blocks. Stay engaged with those guys as long as you can because they can make a play at any given time.
Clock down to 1:25 and counting. In the 3rd period, Princeton's lead is 20-14 as they face 2nd and 9 from their own 35. This time Davis under center. And it's a counter to Augie Christensen, and the Knights pretty well stopped this one. Cole maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
17 carries already for Augie for just 70 yards, but those have been a key 70 yards that he's gained, and that's for sure.
Clock a factor here as we'll dip under 40 seconds to go, 3rd period.
Former teammate of mine, played basketball and football with him, Sleepy Hansen, watching out of Madison, Wisconsin. Thanks for watching, Sleepy, and his brothers are all streaming, watching, talking about the game together, so we appreciate all you guys watching.
What a nickname.
Davis looking to throw. He's under heavy pressure. Now he gets rid of it. And we await to see whether this pass was completed. Apparently so. Danny Sayhaki gets it, but it's going to be short. It'll be 4th down and about 2.
Decision time for Coach Pearson.
Yeah, they can let the quarter expire, and they do. So they'll have some time to talk about it, and we'll have some time to go to Brody for some scores.
Hey, thank you, Norm. Some score updates. Knoxville 14, Tri-Valley 46. West Central 28, the Marco Polos 28 as well. That's a good tie game. Leno Winslow has increased their lead over Fulton 52-7. Sycamore 21. Sterling Golden Warriors still waiting to get on the board. Additionally, in the Amboy 8-man contest, Amboy 22-8 with about 9:50 still to go in the 2nd quarter. And lastly, an update from the Reed-Custer game is still 15-25 Byron over Reed-Custer. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Brody.
Norm, as I play the jump around song as the Tiger Crazies go wild, just curious, have you jumped around since we talked the last time about it, Norm?
No.
Shout out to Shane Turpin for watching in Denver, Colorado. We appreciate you watching, Shane. Looks like the Tigers are going to go for it, Norm.
Here we go.
4th down and 2. Davis tries to power straight ahead. I don't think he has it. And the Knights are going to take over. So pretty much no gain on the play as we just begin the 4th quarter. And the Knights will take over 1st and 10 at the 43 of Princeton.
Steve and Kim Fry watching out of Story City, Iowa. Really appreciate that.
You know, you get the idea that if Princeton's going to win this game, they're going to have to score one more time regardless.
I agree. This is a big time stop here for the Tigers. It's a big possession for the Knights.
Snow falling here at Bryant Field. And again, a big shout out to our cameramen, Steve Gray and Austin Gordon and Cail Piper. What a great job they've done. As a good gain on first down for the Knights. Kailetta on the carry.
Got an injured Knight on the play here.
Second down and 4 upcoming.
So number 33 so far having a big second half. Galata there. He's got 6 carries for 74 yards. So got to find a way to stop that young man.
And we'll go to Brody again for scoreboard updates.
Yeah, just another one that just came across the line here. Dakota 8, Forreston 6. As well as Lena Winslow's moving the ball again, 52-7 now. Shout out to Jody and Scott Zelenek for watching. We always appreciate it, as well as for my good buddy Jake Milhouse, Coach Milhouse from Ohio. Thanks for watching as well. Back to you guys.
All right, so we do have an injured player being tended to, and once again we want to thank our sponsors of Tiger Football and Tiger Central Live. They include Becks, Central Bank, Princeton Redi-Crete, Michlig Energy, and Midland Bank. And also a big thanks to the Princeton Public Schools Foundation.
Tim Culp watching from St. Louis, Missouri. Really appreciate you watching. And also Eric May, he's out there watching from Fort Lee, Virginia.
Wow, of course the St. Louis area, they actually had snow that stuck to the ground, about 5 inches in Vandalia, not all that far from St. Louis. Second down and 4 for the Knights. And Galata on the ground, and he's got the first down at the 30-yard line, wrestled to the turf by Tegan Davis.
Yeah, I think what you see happening right now is the Knights have found something in the run game, and they're going to stick with it. And why not? I mean, their passing game's not doing as well as they would like, and that's all the focus has been all week long is on that passing game. But Tigers got to wrap up that running game real quick.
Of course, they're in 4-down territory now. Galata again, good gain on first down as he advances the ball to about the 25-yard line.
Another thing to pay attention to as well is the Tigers have got a lot of kids going both ways, where the Knights are fortunate to have a lot of people just playing one side of the ball or the other. And so it's really going to see how much conditioned the Tigers is and who's gassed out as well.
Excellent point, Schmitty. Yeah, they have a lot of guys on their roster, do the Knights. Galata once again trying to turn the corner. He does. And he has a first down. So he has just been very tough to bring down. We'll see where they spot this one. Down at the 17-yard line of Princeton. What's he got rushing now, Schmitty?
He's up to 94 yards rushing, Norm. And that's all basically in the second half.
Let it once again, and he is headed to the end zone, and he will score. It is a touchdown for the Knights, and we are tied at 20 with 9:49 to go in the fourth quarter.
That's his second touchdown of the day, and you know the Tigers got to figure something out about that run. That rushing attack from the Knights, they're just wearing the Tigers out with it. And no linebackers to be found. Defensive line getting tired. nonetheless, they got to find something down deep inside to fight through whatever it is they're going through and make a little bit of adjustments on the fly here in the fourth quarter.
Brian Galajic on for what would give the Knights the lead. He's on for the PAT. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is no good. It is short. I don't know if a Tiger got a hand on that or not.
I think Ace Christensen came through. If you watch the replay, let's see who gets his hand on it. I think it was Ace Christensen who came through and got his hand on it. Wow, that's a big extra point that just got tipped right there to keep the score tied at 20. You know, any kind of play that you need, the Tigers have been making it time in and time out, time again. Let's see if they can carry that momentum here in this next possession.
Wow. So each team has missed a conversion. We're tied at 20. It's that simple with 9:49 to go, and we go to Brody for scoreboard updates.
Hey, thank you, Norm. Maroa, Forsyth, 7. Rock Ridge, 7. They're both on the board now. Additionally, we have Reed Custer, 21, Byron, 25, and then lastly, Amboys increased their lead in 8-man ball over St. Thomas More, 28-8 with about 6 minutes left in the second. Amboy is hitting hard and strong right off the gate. Back to you guys.
Wow, so the Clippers look like they're headed for the championship in 8-man football. They're a week ahead of the other football series.
A lot of close games throughout the playoffs so far this afternoon. Just listening to Brody's scores, a lot of good contests going on right now. A lot of good football being played.
Yeah, that Maroa Forsyth and Rock Ridge tied up at 7 apiece.
That Reed Custer and Byron, 25-21. I mean, it's just on and on and on.
Yeah, that Byron lead was 10, but it has shrunk as Reed Custer's getting close. Logic to kick. High kick. And it is fielded, and the play will just end right there. It's not like the pros where you can get up and run if you were not touched. Let's see who had that for
Casey
Princeton.
Etheridge, I believe.
Casey Etheridge on the catch.
Yeah, at least he just caught it. Those ones are tough to catch. Norm, those high wind blowing around up there. It's hard to catch that. You know, the sun's not shining really, but it's even hard to find that ball sometimes in the clouds, as overcast as it is today.
Well, even though there's 9:47 to go, we could be looking at the season here. Can Princeton put together a long drive and secure a touchdown? Tegan Davis takes the snap. He's on the run. Can he get around the corner? Maybe a few yards, as he has really hit hard on the near sideline. Give him about a yard or so gain, maybe 2. Second down and 8.
Tegan's a competitor. He's going to get back up and bounce back up like he did. Now he has to run all the way to the other sidelines to get instructions from Coach Pearson. He's in good shape.
Yeah, if anybody can handle it, Tegan can. Stops the clock with 9:41 to go in the game. We're all tied up at 20. Noel Laporte wide to the far side of the field. And Davis back to throw, fires away, and the pass is complete to Brady Byers. And Byers gets way downfield, close to the 32-yard line of the Knights.
We'll call that a 45-yard completed play. And I saw that coming, Norm. They set something up where Tegan was going to throw it to Laporte, and Byers just did a nice little post route, and Tegan right on the money. Nice job by Brady catching that ball.
And Brady Byers has come up with so many big plays for the Tigers.
He sure has, Norm.
First and 10 for Princeton at the 33. I formation backfield. And the handoff goes to Augie Christensen. He's fighting hard, but it's still going to be short yardage and going to bring up second down and 9.
Yeah, there's no quitting these Tigers, Norm, that's for sure. Brody, you got a quick update?
Yeah, so Marco Polos have increased their lead over West Central 34-28. Tri-Valley has increased their lead over Knoxville 46-22. And lastly, Sycamore has increased their lead over the Sterling Golden Warriors 28-0. Back to you guys.
Well, Brody, we said it'd be wild if Polo and Amboy wound up playing for the championship, and right now that's where it's headed.
No kidding. This would be something.
Second and 9. Tigers definitely in 4-down territory, but they need a good gain on this play. Davis to throw, fires away, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Brady Byers, and on the coverage was Denzel Gibson for the Knights.
Yeah, they tried that same play that they gained that 45 yards on, came back to it, and this time the Knights was there to make a lot better job on defending that play, that's for sure. Hey, a question for you, Brody. Is it the Marco Polos or the Polo Marcos?
It could be either or, really.
Okay. Okay.
Third down and 9 from the 32 of the Knights. Key play here. Teagan takes the shotgun snap. He's looking to throw, fires towards the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by the Knights, and they're going to get a nice return on this. That's Parker with the pick, who is also an outstanding wide receiver. And he returns the ball to, let's see, near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think he saw him coming over the top. Teagan just threw the ball, thought he had a receiver open. I think the intended target was Laporte. Nice job by 14 there, Parker, who came up with the interception, read it the whole way. Big-time players make big-time plays. You got to take your hats off to number 14, Parker, there for that one.
Well, the Knights have pretty much went with the running game here of late. Will they try to throw a long pass here to take advantage of this turnover? We'll see. First and 10 at their 35. No, it's Galetta again. And he has hit at the line of scrimmage, but manages to get away and picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
Well, it's interesting what they're doing. They're spreading it out to the far sidelines and then pulling 2 people on the near sidelines, and that's advantage Knights because they got more people to block than we do to defend, and that's a problem.
Second down and 6 at the 39 of the Knights. Galetta once again right up the middle. He'll be short of a first down, but it'll be quite manageable as he picks up another 4. It'll bring up third down and 2.
Yeah, he's such a strong runner and hard to bring down. Tigers doing a nice job there of closing the gap and holding him to a third down and short situation here.
Tigers need a break, a fumble, a penalty. Third down and 2 from the 43 of the Knights. This time 2 running backs in the backfield. But it's Galetta once again. He has the first down, drugged down at about the 48-yard line. Danny Saihaki in on that tackle. First down Knights. Tied at 20.
Tigers got to find some energy. Look at them right now, Norm. They look like they're a little tired. Got to get fired up a little bit. Got 7 minutes to play in this game yet.
Knights continue to keep it on the ground, and Galetta's gotten free. He is on the run. He is all the way down to near the 30-yard line of Princeton. And we have a man hurt for the Knights, one of their linemen. We hope he's okay. In the meantime, while they tend to him, let's go to Brody for scoreboard updates.
Sure, Norm, thank you. Maroa Forsyth, 14, Rock Ridge, 7. And this is the exciting one for you. The Marco Polos, or the Polo Marcos, however you want to cut it there, Schmitty, is now trailing the West Central Heat. The Heat is warming back up, 36-34. What an exciting game in 8-man ball. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Schmitty, I don't know if you're aware. I read where former Bureau Valley coach Jason Kirby coaches Biggsville West Central.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Biggsville's out in front in that one now, Brody?
Yes, they are, 36-34 over Marcos.
All right, so good comeback by Biggsville.
Looks like that offense lineman for the Knights are going to be all right. It looks like he was cramping up a little bit.
1st and 10 for the Knights at the 30 of Princeton. 7:31 to go in the game. Been a constant diet of Joey Galetta, and it's going to stay that way as he goes right up the middle, still on his feet, and he's close to and perhaps has a first down.
Yeah, he's piling up some yardage now, Norm. He's got 15 carries for 155 yards, and I believe it's all been this half.
And guess what? This kid is a sophomore. They've got 2 more years of having him in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the Tiger 20. Once again, it's Galetta. He continues to power his way forward. This is going to be a big gain on 1st down, and will bring up 2nd down and relatively short.
Yeah, it's another 7 yards on the play.
What's he at on the game, Schmidt?
162.
Oh, my goodness. Joey Galetta, a sophomore, just taking 1 carry after another. This time they're going to throw, and they have a man open. It's complete. That's Ellis getting down near the 10-yard line. Be close to a first down. And perhaps he has it. We'll see. They're going to mark him just short. It'll bring up 3rd and very short. Clock down to 6:09 to go in the game. 20-20 our score.
I don't remember the last time he actually passed the ball this second half. They haven't thrown the ball very much in the second half.
It was almost like the only reason they throw was to give Galetta a break. I have a hunch that break is over, and he'll be getting it on this play. That is the case. Right up the middle he goes, and he has the first down. And he is most impressive indeed. You noted earlier, Schmitty, 162 yards, and he must be near 170 now.
Yeah, he's at 166. Max and Linda Hellberg watching from Panama City, Florida. We appreciate you guys watching as well. Need a big stand here for the Tigers. As you see, the Tigers going to a 4-man front. Normally it's a 3-man front. They changed it up to a 4-man front to try to combat the running game of this Knights ball team.
Now this time it's Gibson in the backfield. And Gibson gets the carry, but we do have a call. And it's illegal procedure against the Knights.
That is their 5th penalty for 35 yards.
.540 to go, tied at 20.
Little Rowan Koning, shout out to Rowan, Coach Koning's little boy watching us today. Shout out to him. I told him I'd give him a shout out today, so hope you're watching still, Rowan.
First down And goal to go from the 12. Mandela hands to Gibson. Gibson tries to get around the corner, but he can't. Tegan Davis with the tackle at the 15-yard line, so that'll even be a loss on the play.
Nice job by Tegan Davis going low. He just dives at his legs, makes a big tackle, almost prevents it, gets a fumble. Big time play by number 2.
Schmidt, you got to keep an eye on KJ Parker. He has 1,000 yards receiving.
Only 22 yards today so far. They're doing a nice job keeping him in check.
You would think this might be a spot they'd go to him. No, they're going to keep it on the ground, and it's Galetta. Look at him power ahead, but Tigers do stop him at the 10. Third and goal to go from the 10.
Tiger fans, you gotta get noisy!
4:20 and counting to go in the game.
This is a big time stand right here. It's going to be an interesting call from the Knights if they're going to kick a field goal. If they don't get this in third down and 10 territory, you got to think that they're going to go to number 14 right here. Buckle up, Tiger fans. Let's see what happens.
Oh, it's Galetta again, and he is hit basically at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Ian Morris there along with Augie Christensen, and they're going to come out, and it looks like they're going to kick a field goal.
Well, their kicker, Brian Kolajic.
Yes, Ian Morris coming in out of the linebacker position, did a nice job of reading that, forcing back in. Augie cleans up the tackle. Great teamwork there by the Tigers.
Kolajic does have a thunder foot, but of course he was unsuccessful on his last PAT. Thanks to a block by Ace Christensen. 20-20. Nearing 3 minutes to go in the game. The snap is errant, and the Tigers have the football at the 20-yard line. No field goal attempt is completed.
Noah Laporte there to pounce on it. It's a special teams error by the Knights, and it could be a costly one as the Tigers have 2 timeouts remaining with 3:11 to go in this quarter. It's go time right now for the Tiger offense, who hasn't done anything in the second half, but these 3 minutes means a whole lot.
Boy, oh boy, if you know of anybody who's not watching, give them a call. 20-20.
That's about right, Norm. Give him a call.
Used to be an old professional wrestler who's now a preacher in Waterloo, Iowa. Thunderbolt Patterson. He used to say, call somebody, tell somebody.
I know one person's watching, Sister Sue Braylon Patno. Thanks for watching at home, sis.
All right, so Davis goes under center, and handoff goes to Augie Christensen. A nice gain on first down out to about the 25-yard line.
You don't necessarily have to pass the ball right here. You can get away with some rushing yards right here.
Second down and 6, 2:50 and counting for the game. Tigers do have 2 timeouts left according to the board. And this is C.J. Hickey on the carry. And Hickey knocked forward by the offensive line is going to be close to a first down.
You know, the Tigers say, if you guys can do it, we can too. C.J. Hickey gets stood up right at the 28-yard line, and a whole host of Tigers helped push him from behind to gain that first down.
I think Kate Odell was one of the big ones to get a push in there. And now stoppage in play as the Knights are going to take a timeout with 2:29 to go in the game.
Got some updates, Brody?
I got tons of updates for you, Schmitty. So in finals right now, Sterling has been eliminated from playoffs to Sycamore 28-0, as well as Knoxville's been eliminated 22-46. Tri-Valley beat them. In 8-man ball, we have Amboy 42, St. Thomas More 16. In also at the Polo Marcos game, 42 to West Central's 36. The Marcos have taken a lead on that. And then, lastly, in 3A ball, Reed Custer 27, Byron 25. This is getting good. There is 1 minute and 56 seconds left in that game. Back to you guys.
Wow. Super job, Brody. 1st and 10 Tigers at the 32. And it's C.J. Hickey on the carry, and Hickey getting through for a first down all the way out to the 44-yard line.
Well, Hickey's fresh, Norm. He's got only 4 carries on the day, and he's making it hurt. Nice job by a block by Tegan Davis there to spring him loose.
Tigers go no huddle, and this is Augie on the counter, and he's going to be hit for a loss. In on the tackle is Griffin for the Knights.
2 minutes to go in this contest. It's in the 4th quarter, all tied up at 20, and it's 2nd down 11 for the Tigers. They got to play semi-hurry up, but don't want to hurry up too much.
Tigers have been keeping it on the ground. They still will. It's C.J. Hickey. And Hickey with a nice gain out near midfield. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 with 1:40 to go.
Big 3rd down conversion here for the Tigers.
And it's a run to Augie Christensen, and it is stopped for a loss. It'll bring up 4th down.
Another update for you guys. Fulton has now been eliminated from playoffs. Lena Winslow 52, Fulton 14. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I have a hunch that they lost to the eventual state champion. Would you go along with that, Schmitty?
Absolutely.
I think it's a safe bet.
And but boy, congratulations to Fulton. Year after year, they get in the playoffs and do a great job.
Big Tiger supporter, Zane Britton there watching us from home. Appreciate you watching, Zane. As always, big Tiger supporter.
Timeout taken by Princeton. Clock stop with 36 seconds to go in the game. (20-20). So Schmitty, punts are never automatic.
No, got to make sure you have a good snap. Got to make sure you catch the ball and then get a good punt off. And you got to make sure you sustain the block because they're probably going to be coming after you. With 36 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. And then if you get the punt off and you don't kick it out of bounds, make sure you got good coverage.
Danny Hockey. He hasn't had to punt very often this season, but when called upon has done a good job. Hockey standing back at about his own 32-yard line. The snap is high, but he jumps and gets it, and it's a good kick. And here comes the return from the Knights. And what Schmitty talked about, originally there's good coverage, but now he breaks away. And the return is out to the 37-yard line.
The good news is, Norm, they wasted 18 seconds to make that play happen. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is the Knights have it on our 30 or on their 38-yard line. So like to see a little better field position if you're the Tigers, but nonetheless they ran off 18 seconds off the clock. So.
And that was KJ Parker, the outstanding wide receiver on the return. As we mentioned, Parker with 1,000 yards receiving. And I notice he's bent over and hurting a little bit here, but you would think that perhaps this play would be going to him unless the Knights just say, well, overtime's okay with us too.
I don't think they're going to settle for overtime with 18 seconds to go on the clock, and they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Tegan Davis has the job of guarding KJ Parker. So here we go. Mandela back to throw. Fires away, and the pass is complete to Ellis. Short gain on the play. And the clock is down to 11 seconds to go. Augie Christensen on the stop.
Yeah, if you're the Tiger coaching staff, you're okay with that play. I mean, you allowed 7 seconds to develop or run off the clock, only gave up 5 yards on the play or 4 yards on the play. That's a good job by the defense of the Tigers.
So we're probably talking perhaps 2 plays to go. The ball at the 41-yard line of the Knights. Mandela back to throw. He's got plenty of time. He fires away. It's intended for Parker. It is incomplete. Tegan Davis on the coverage.
I don't think you want to set that play up again. Tegan just unloaded on Parker, and they wasted 5 seconds on the clock. But, oh, my. Tegan's been waiting for that play his whole game.
Well, the scouting report is they will throw that flanker screen to Parker, and then he'll take off and get about 75 yards. But I'm actually shocked that they have not run a fly pattern with him and just tried to hit him on a long pass.
You might get it here, Norm.
3rd and 6, only 6 seconds remaining. Mandela, he has time. He fires away, and oh, what a nice pass and catch. Fumble, and regulation should be over as J.P. Schmidt with the catch. The fumble somewhat unconsequential as the time has expired, and it's 20-20, so we will go to overtime.
Well, let's talk about the overtime rules first, yeah? So I believe each team gets a possession, right?
Correct.
And I believe if, and the first team that doesn't score, I mean, if the Tigers score first, kick an extra point, score 7 points, and the Knights don't score, Tigers win. If the Knights have to respond back with a touchdown and at least a extra point to tie it, or if they get a 2-point conversion, they could win the game as well. So that's how it kind of goes back and forth. I believe they both start, I don't know what yard line they start, 25?
In college, it's the 25, but I'm thinking in high school, it might be the 10.
It might be the 10.
We'll find out soon enough. We've had nothing resembling an overtime game for Princeton, and as none of the games have really been that close to this point.
And it's been a minute since I've been a part of an overtime game, so I'm a little rusty when it comes to that, too.
Brody, any updates?
Norm, I got some crazy scores coming your way here. Forreston Cardinals 14, Dakota Indians 8, and in 3A, the big Byron game. Byron 32, Reed Custer 27 with 12 seconds left to go in the 4th. Holy cow.
So Byron, defending state champion, looks like they're going to make another run at it. I know Reed Custer's played a remarkable game, but wow.
And for the Amboy game, I just got a text from my good buddy Jason Wilt. 48-22 Amboy.
Quick story about Jason Wilt.
These are my favorite, by the way.
Him and some boys came over to my house. I was fairly young, maybe even still in high school or just outside of high school. And I have all the Chicago Bulls stuff all over the place, And one of the things I had was a Coke can, still full of Coke, that had the Chicago Bulls 91 championship team on it, And so it had all the names on the backside of it, and I just kept it full just for I don't know if I thought it was going to be worth more or whatever. Anyways, and this is probably, I don't know, I'm going to guess probably 10 years later, right? So I go out of my bedroom and I come back in, as you see all the Tiger crazies still holding firm, watching their Tigers try to pull off this upset. I come back in and Jason says, "This Coke tastes a little flat." I'm like, "You really opened that up and started drinking it?" I said, "It's like 10 years old. Of course it's going to be flat. I had it as a souvenir up there." He goes, "I'm so sorry." So I that's what I remember Jason Wilt by all the time. It's hilarious.
Jason at one point in his educational career was at Leapertown Grade School, Bureau. So.
Exactly. Then he was at Princeton Elementary for a while, then he's been in Ohio for the last 10 years or so.
Granny Doucette, one of my biggest supporters of all time, is watching. I really appreciate you watching game in and game out. She really enjoys listening to you, Norm, and big shout out to her.
And is she a Bureau resident?
Yes, she is.
Okay, Bureau Bulldogs.
Hey, Indian Wesleyan, shout out from Coach Foes and the Foes family, 179-7. He says, "Own the OT. We'll try, Coach Foes. We'll try."
Wow, what a game we've had here at Princeton, and it's not over yet. Tied at 20. It's too bad we don't have one of those mics like what they have on TV where we can just hear the officials talking.
We're going to get a little shot, though, here in a
Look
minute
at this.
about the
Cail
corner.
Piper is going right out to the hope they'll let him in and just get in on this. Outstanding work by our student cameraman, Cail Piper.
Looks like the Tigers won the toss. It looks like Princeton won and maybe deferred is what I got from the signal from the official.
Well, that is traditionally what you like to do. That way you know what you have to match. So,
Just a quick update. Byron has won against Redi-Crete.
So Byron waiting, the winner of this game will play each other.
what a great job Brody has done all day long, keeping us up on that back and forth scoreboard between Reed Custer and Byron comes away with the win.
Now, will that be played in Byron no matter who wins, correct? Yes. So the winner of this game will be on the road to Byron. And it looks like you're right, Norm. It is at the 10-yard line. Never a doubt that you weren't right.
Oh,
Never a doubt.
I don't know, Schmitty. It's been a long time since I've seen an overtime game in high school. But at any rate, that's what we have here today at Bryant Field.
I'm just going to call it here. It's going to come down to a 2-point conversion to win or lose this game, I think.
The Knight fans who had been sitting on the cement steps down near the Crown Street end zone are all moving down to get a better look. Can't say I blame them. All right, we are set. Mandela hands to Galetta, and Galetta is in for the touchdown. So one play, and they are in. Dominic Galetta with his third touchdown of the day, and that makes it 26-20 in favor of the Knights.
The good news is the Tigers get the ball.
So Kalachik, who has a tremendous leg, but had a kick blocked by Ace Christensen, and then we saw a bad snap earlier. What will happen here? Snap is good, and the kick is also good. 27-20 in favor of IC Catholic. Well, Schmitty, Tigers do have to score a touchdown first, but I think you're exactly right. If they would score, would they go for a two-pointer? My guess is yes.
What's the rule of thumb? Go for a 2 on the road and tie for the home, I think is what they say. I don't know. I'm kind of a gambling man. I'd probably go for 2 at home.
Well, and it's like you said, too. IC Catholic, they've been platooning. Our boys are obviously tired, the longer it goes. the more it probably favors IC Catholic. So
Yeah, and I go back to a couple weeks ago when LSU beat Alabama. They went to overtime and they went for a 2-point conversion to win the game and got it. So I like the Tigers' chances on a 2-point conversion. That's for sure.
Davis under center. And this is C.J. Hickey. And Hickey spins and gets to about the 8-yard line. Second down coming up.
You'd like to see CJ just cut that up just a touch earlier, and maybe it would have gained about 3 or 4 more yards. But, you know, it's easier to call that up here than seeing it on the field, that's for sure.
We are in overtime if you just joined us. And on their opening possession, the Knights scored and kicked the extra point. They lead 27-20. Tigers trying to answer.
Delay of game or timeout? I think Coach Pearson called timeout. Whew, that's a good timeout call by Coach Pearson because we were getting ready for a delay of game call because I thought Tegan was going to snap it, and then we had a motion guy come in motion. I'm like, oh, no, here comes a 5-yard penalty. But Coach Pearson comes to the rescue with the timeout. Brody?
Norm, just a couple updates for you here. West Central is still trailing the Polo Marcos 42-36. Maroya Forsyth 21 over Rock Ridge 7. Forreston Cardinals over Dakota Indians 14-8. Amboy Clippers 48. St. Thomas More Sabres 22. And St. Francis is ahead of Rochelle 12-8. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks Brody for those updates. And of course we'll go back to Brody even after the game's over for a final look, as a lot of games hanging in the balance. What did the Tigers come up with in the timeout? They have trips to the left, and Davis is rolling that way. He looks to throw. He fires, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Danny Saihaki.
I don't really mind that play there. It was a nice design play. The Knights just did a nice job of sniffing that one out as Tegan rolled to his left and then threw all the way back, hopefully to isolate Saihaki on the right-hand side. But the Knights did a nice job of defending that play. It's going to be 3rd down and goal for the Tigers.
Go Tigers!
These Knight defensive backs, they have proven to be a tough force to deal with. They're exceptionally fast. 3rd down from the 8. We're in overtime. Tigers need a score. Augie hitting the backfield, throws at the last minute. If that's intercepted, the ball game is over. And it is. So the Tigers' magical season is over, and the IC Catholic Knights in overtime have claimed a hard-fought 27-20 win over the Princeton Tigers. A tough ball game, Schmitty, but yet still a lot to be proud of for the Princeton Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tigers, they had nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hang your head on, that's for sure. You know, it's just unfortunate it came to an abrupt end right here, right now, as you see the Knights so happy for victory and the Tigers just stunned in defeat. And I just want to commend the coaching staff and the whole football team for giving us such a great ride. Such a great season to be a part of, and that's something to be proud of. Don't need to hang your heads on that because I tell you what, these boys are resilient. Their effort was never lacking, and you know, even though we came up on the short end of the stick, so to speak, you know, they got nothing to hang their heads about, that's for sure.
Oh, and you know, coming into this, and I'm sure you were the same way, I thought, no matter what happens, I just hope we can come out and play a good game so that if we do lose, and I think we did. I think we played a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, I really believe that that the Tigers are going to win today. I did. There's a lot of people that doubted it, and I said, if the Tigers could keep it close, that we were going to win, that's for sure. And, we had our chances. And, we just came up short, and it's not a lack of effort, like I said. It's not a lack of game plan. Maybe got beat by a better team this time. Hats off to the Knights of IC, and they going up to play Byron for a rematch from last year.
A team that beat them last year, so that should be a real good matchup. Brody, I know this is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm wondering about in the south part of 3A. We have Tolono 10-1 at Fairbury Prairie Central. These are 2 o'clock starts, and Williamsville 10-1 at Olympia. Do we have anything on either one of those ball games?
So I have the Williamsville at Olympia score. Right now it looks like 41-0 Olympia. And
wow, that is a surprise. Williamsville,
right,
a former state champion in recent years.
As well as I do have the Prairie Central game. Prairie Central 0, Tolono Unity 7. And that is in the second, I believe. I also have a series of final scores for you, Norm.
Go ahead and take it away, Brody.
Sure. So I have, of course, Sycamore defeating Sterling 28-0. Knoxville falling to Tri-Valley 46-22. This one's hot off the press. West Central has beat Polo 50-48. In other games, Forreston still 14, Dakota 8. Additionally, in the Amboy match, we have 48-22 Amboy over the Sabres. And then lastly, the Moroya Forsyth game, 21 Rock Ridge 7. Norm, I just like to say this has been a blast calling this game and calling this whole season with you and Schmitty. This has been just a delight, and I can't wait for basketball season to start up. But hey, before I hang up the mic for the football season, I just want to give one last shout out to Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad have watched every single game since I started back with Tiger Central, an organization that I was a part of back 10 years ago when I was in high school. And it means so much to me to have Steve Morton and Steve Gray helping me out with this. So thank you guys. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I love you guys. And we'll get dinner soon. All right, back to you guys.
Oh, nicely done, Brody. And you've been with Tiger Central Live for 10 years.
So when I was in high school, Norm, was the first year, my senior year was my first year with Tiger Central. And then I, of course, graduated, went to college, all that stuff. And then when I came back as a teacher, Mr. Morton asked me to help out, and it's been a joy to be back here. I remember what someone told me once, and I put this on my Facebook not too long ago, and I was quoted for saying this in that BCR article Kevin Hieronymus wrote for us earlier this week. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. I bleed Tiger blue, and I love Princeton High School.
All right. Thank you so much, Brody. Schmitty, I know you've been toiling away at the numbers, so go right ahead.
For the IC Catholic Knights, number 11. I'm going to get your program over here.
Sure.
Whoops. Number 11, Mandela, was 10 for 16 for just 75 yards and 2 interceptions. Rushing, leading the way, was number 33, Joey Gliada. He's a junior, 5'9" junior. He rushed for 20 times for 181 yards and had 2 touchdowns. Leading the way for receiving was number 3 was Caleb Ellis, actually, for 4 catches for 24 yards. Tigers doing a nice job on Parker, who only had 2 catches for 22 yards. For the Tigers, Tegan Davis was 6 for 13 for 79 yards and an interception. Leading the way in the ground game was Augie Christensen, who carried the ball 21 times for 72 yards. C.J. Hickey, 6 carries for 40 yards. Brady Byers had 3 carries for 55 yards. And he also had that touchdown run as well. So, and then receiving the ball for the Tigers is Noah Laporte, three catches, 20 yards. Brady Byers had a catch for 45 yards, and Saihaki had 2 catches for 18 yards. Just the quick shout out to Steve Morton, Steve Gray, Mr. Gordon, Mr. Piper, to you, Norm, and to Brody. It's been fun. I've had a blast. I love doing this. You know, we get so much love from the people at home, but really it comes down to the guys behind the scenes like Steve and Cail and Austin and Steve Gray. They're the ones that really are the brains behind it. Steve Morton does a nice job he puts countless hours in of making this live for you guys, and the production is the way it is, and it's just gotten better from day one when I started. So I really appreciate all you guys. It feels like a family up here. I love that family type atmosphere. That's what I try to preach to our basketball players, and I really enjoy it. So I appreciate you guys having me up here.
I don't have much that I can add to anything you said. I just double ditto everything, and I had somebody tell me today, they said, aren't you nervous about calling this game? I said, not at all. I said, I'm the luckiest man in the world to get to work with the people we have here on Tigers Central Live. So Brody's exactly right. We are proud of what the Tigers did, and we are looking forward to basketball. In fact, we won't have the game on Tigers Central Live, but come on out to Prouty Gym Monday night, and our girls are in action at 8 o'clock. And, of course, the beginning of December, December 1st, we have a girls' game on Tiger Central Live. December 2nd, a boys' game. So thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to you for watching. Again, thanks to Steve Morton, Steve Gray, Austin Gordon, and Cail Piper for all their great work. Once again, our final score in overtime, IC Catholic 27 and Princeton 20. Have a good afternoon, everybody.